Hi, this is Bruce Kulick, and you're listening to Shout It Out Loudcast with Tom and Zeus. These guys know Kiss inside and out. They freak me out all the time. You're going to enjoy it. The episode is epic.
Hey, what's up there, Kiss Army? Tom and Zeus, another episode of Shout It Out Loudcast, episode 139, aptly titled Revenge.
Yeah, go ahead and tell your story about how I don't know what that's from.
I just said that revenge, the way he says it, Gene Hackman says it in Superman 2.
Never saw it.
Like, how the fuck? That is probably the greatest, to me, and a lot of people, greatest superhero movie of all time.
That is spoken by someone who has never watched all the Marvel movies.
Oh, okay. Oh,
stop it.
Oh, sorry. Iron Man gets the fucking finger bang Hulk in the back of a fucking Marvel museum.
Iron Man 3 might be the best superhero movie ever made.
Oh,
Superman. What the fuck's the matter with you? Christopher Reeve, God bless him, but come on. Ridiculously horrible special effects. Looks like it was made in my backyard. It's terrible.
General Zod.
He was cool.
God.
He was cool.
Dude, the whole thing is good. And then I also have the Richard Donner cut, which literally is like two different movies. Fucking phenomenal. Superman against those three. Holy shit, that's the best Superman, best fucking superhero movie, probably of all time. Incredible.
I agree. Superman is the best. You know, we did a comic book with Marvel, not with DC.
Now that I have COVID, I have a friend pick me up a Marvel comic for me with Kiss on it. He just tweeted something about.
Because we have COVID, I can't put my blood in any more comic books.
Good luck doing that now. Someone's going to sue him. I got COVID because I bought a comic book at a sale.
Hold off on the COVID talk. We're going to get to that soon.
Yeah. And Superman 2 is the best, but that's okay. Anyway.
You the best? Yes, my friend.
Anyway. We're at album review time. It's been a while.
Oh, yes. And it's Revenge. Oh,
yeah. This one is a pretty good one.
Oh, yeah.
I know I personally have been waiting for this one.
Yep.
And I think you guys will like it. So before we do that, let's get a little feedback from last week where we did Talk to Me 3.
Yes. So last week was our annual Talk to Me episode where we kind of vent and purge some strong opinions on a couple topics. And of course, the two topics were the restart of the End of the Road tour and Paul and Gene's social media. And as we stated on our social media, that episode was recorded before the diagnosis of Paul and obviously before the diagnosis of Gene, which is more recent. So the poll was, which of the things are more frustrating, quote unquote, as a Kiss fan? Same old set list and stage for End of the Road, Kiss and their social media, both of them, or none. I like Kiss. Do you? 48% of you said the same old set list and stage is frustrating. 20% said both of them are frustrating. 18% said none, because they like Kiss, and only 14% cared about, in terms of being frustrated about the social media. So a couple comments here. Bruce Fody said both Paul and Gene really come off like self-righteous a-holes. They used to blame the stagnant playlists on Ace and Peter because they, quote, can't learn new songs. Now it's, quote, average fans just want the hits. Deep cuts are just bad songs. Okay. John Gross, same old set list. They're entitled to use their social media however they want, even if I disagree with the message. Of course, no one's disagreeing with their ability and their right to use it how they want. Party man, I don't care what they play or how the stage looks. I simply love seeing it and have a good time while I can. But social media has taken a lot of the adoration for a hero away with both Paul and Gene for me. They are normal humans with very bad days, sometimes like all of us. Scott Wheeler, brutal episode, but also true. While we still love Kiss, is there a more frustrating band to its fans than them? I don't think so. They're hardcore loyal fans is what keeps them going, but we are rarely rewarded for our loyalty. Perfectly said. That's perfect, Scott. Love that. Damian Scully, Setlist is a killer. They haven't catered to the hardcore fans for years. I love Rich. I wish to change a Setlist up some. The social media stuff can be silly, but it doesn't bother me. DG from Tennessee, social media for me, especially with Paul. I'm so over the holier than thou attitude. Shut up and play. Alessandro Rock, current stage show is cool but lacks excitement. Isn't that what we want as fans? I don't care about social media posts because it's not real life. Well, I choose to think it's not. How about they play King of the Nighttime World? Put the audio track on. Oh, yikes. West Beach, our buddy there, says same old set list and stage seems lazy. And is anybody still buying Sonic Boom? So why do say yeah? I don't even think Walmart even stocks it anymore. Even Firehouse would be a better choice. With such a vast back catalog, they could do something different. That's actually an interesting point by Wes about Sonic Boom. It's not available on streaming, and I think Walmart still has the right. So it's not like that song is universally adored by people because it's hard to even hear.
Yeah. So
it's kind of an interesting point. Good stuff from there from Wes. And then a couple other comments here from the Twitter, as I like to call it. Let's see here. Oh, this is a good one here. We got into a nice little back and forth with somebody by the name of Under the Radar. They say, bunch of complainers, wah, wah, wah. If the show is repetitive, don't go. If Paul's tweets annoy you, stop following. All the negativity is quite honestly going overboard at this point, not just being real. All right. Then we responded, plenty of Kiss Pom Pom podcasts out there. Do you like Kiss? You can't do over 50 episodes a year.
Who's that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Can't do over 50 episodes a year and not find stuff you don't like about Kiss or their members. I would suggest that's not real. And then they respond, I get it. You're making your thing the anti-Pom Pom. My opinion, you're going overboard. But if the majority like it, then you're doing it right. Anyway, then it got into a back and forth. And then she said, FYI, my name is Judy.
Well, Judy.
Hi, Judy.
Is that Judy Gilbert's girlfriend from Revenge of the Nerds? Hi, Gilbert. Hey,
that's
a shame what they're making you live in the gym.
I feel like she said that her name is Judy so that we would like be nice to her, because if it was like a guy, would just be like going off on her. But it's okay, Judy.
Well, Judy has a lot of spontaneous friends, and they'd love to come over.
I'll call them.
Although they're part of the Omega Moos, not the Moos.
They're a bunch of pigs. See, this is what happens, Judy. You told us your name is Judy, and we love that you're a fan, and we love your passion, and we love the fact that you're interacting with us. Tell us how you feel. That's what we want.
And we love that your friends are real spontaneous people.
But the fact that your name comes from the best comedy ever made is not going to be a good thing for you from now on.
And Booger fucking loves you guys.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, absolutely. Oh, boy. All right, buddy.
Booger was like dancing with them, and hands just went around their asses, and he was holding fat asses.
Dude, that literally looked like he was holding like a down comforter. There was no way that was somebody's ass.
And then he turned around, and then the other one was like, beat it. I got him. And they were fighting over Booger. The Moos.
Call me Booger.
All right. Booger?
All right.
Booger?
All right. Our buddy Nige. Another great episode. Non-changing setlist really bugs me. No excuse why they can't do what Metallica and Pearl Jam, etc. do. Another example from the 90s, REM. Always half of the set is must-haves. The other half is a surprise. Keep it fresh for old fans. Or can't they do a variation on what Maiden does? A run of dates playing just the classics, another run of dates playing almost entirely deep cuts. Keep both sets of fans happy. You know what? It brings me up to something we didn't bring up. I wish Kiss would do what a lot of other bands would do. When I saw Rush, they did play an album. It's in its entirety, then throw in some hits. Like when I saw Rush, they played Moving Pictures in its entirety with hits. Eagles, they played Hotel California in its entirety, then hits. I saw Queensryche, they played Mindcrime in its entirety, then hits. Like I'm surprised Kiss doesn't do that, but again, they probably don't know how to fucking play Sweet Pain off Destroyer anymore. But
yeah, anyways. Well, I can tell you this. I just saw Hotel California.
Yeah.
They played that, and then they're playing fucking 31 songs in total. Let's ask Murph, who saw both concerts, and his daughter, who saw both concerts. Hate to tell you guys, and
Don't start using Murph for your own benefit.
Why?
Now.
What do you mean? I don't need to use him. I usually would fucking tell you he's an idiot. But the truth of the matter is, him and his daughter and myself saw both those bands, and Kiss is a bigger fan. I'm a bigger fan of Kiss than the Eagles. The Eagles blew Kiss away.
Oh, I don't
blew them away.
I don't doubt that.
Fucking embarrassing that they can't switch fucking songs up. You know what the problem is, Tom? And I don't want to rehash the last episode. The problem is they've been doing the same shit since 2012.
Of course.
If you were just doing it, hey, we're retiring, so we got to get all our greatest hits out, and we need to play these, that's fine. But the fact of the matter is you were doing the same thing before that.
Yeah.
So all those other bands were playing some hits, some deep cuts, giving their fans something. Now they want to say, okay, well, but you've been doing that already. So people are sick of this shit. Oh, no, we know better.
I know. Okay. I know. Anyways, that's Twitter. What do you got from Facebook?
On the Book of Face, Max Lynch. It's much needed therapy to let these frustrations out.
Yes.
Over on Loudcasters, James A. Warden. Great points on both topics. While the painter is great and talented, I've seen him twice already and was looking forward to DLR. As you mentioned, they had 18 months. Too bad they wouldn't get Bruce Kulick to open. He could play Kiss songs the current lineup would never do. It would be a great tribute to all eras. Bruce has always been a team player, and this would also been a tribute and send-off to him. At this point, do we really see Ace or Peter being part of the end of the road show? On the bright side, I won't have to fork out $50 for a new shirt. Thanks for expressing opinions not tolerated by other podcasts and groups, your own.
Nice. Love that.
Yeah. Over on YouTube. Anthony Stratus. Thanks for the laugh, guys. Really need some cheering up this week with COVID lockdown in all here in Melbourne.
Oh, God, I know.
Isn't it bad over there? It's fucking horrible, I'm hearing. I think the reason you guys in this Shout It Out Loudcast podcast is growing so rapidly is because you guys are genuine, and you can't fake genuine. Keep rocking, guys.
Thank you, Anthony, and good luck. Be safe in Australia there, my friend, and all our Australian listeners.
And then our buddy Marty jumps in, Marty White. You can't fake genuine, but you can fake Fraley. Mr. Antonio 2005.
Who revealed himself on Twitter the other day.
I love it.
That was fantastic. Yes.
And he's like, I think he's a serious professional too.
He has like all these abbreviations after his name, but he commented, he goes, AKA Mr. Antonio 2005. I was like, yes.
Awesome. I know. That's why the nickname is Zeus, not my professional name. I want fucking people bugging my law firm with, hey, the thing you were talking about, fucking piss cakes, whatever his name is, Goober.
Hey, I'm looking for fucking Pickle Boy. Does he work here? Who's fucking Cukes? Cukes, whatever the fuck his name is.
Looking for the paralegal named Cukes. Mr. Antonio 2005. Gene tweets are comparable to Paul anal bed necklace look from the Elder. Not good and don't age well. And please, Paul, talking about Metallica Black Album, who's he kidding? Yep. He was listening to Jesus Jones, Delight, and Boys to Men back in 91.
Hey, groove is in the heart, baby. Delight. Oh, God.
And then Johnny Be Good. Maybe if people stop complaining about Kiss lackluster set lists and just simply stop going to the concerts, then maybe they would change things up and do something different. Of course, they're going to do the same thing over and over again if you keep spending your money on it. I haven't seen Kiss nor want to since 2010. I haven't missed anything yet.
Yeah.
This is the old fucking
can't do it
sports thing. Oh, stop supporting the team and the owner will do something.
Yeah.
Dude, what you can't fuck. Kiss is retiring. They're stopped touring. You're not gonna sit there and go, yeah, I fucking put my foot down and then I never saw them.
Right.
I want to see them for the last time and then bitch about it, of course.
Exactly.
So Tom, over to you for emails.
But yeah, and before we get to the email, we got a DM from our good buddy Craig Moran here. Good stuff here. Hey guys, listen to your Talk to Me 3 episode right now. Want to discuss your topic of their lazy static set list. One thing that needs to be discussed, is Paul playing to a vocal track? We're not going to get into that right now. He talks about Metallica is a great example of changing the set list. Sometimes he says they have revolving A, B, and C set list. Each tour with 2 to 3 songs rotate in and out. It's not a completely different set list. You can sometimes figure out which one you're going to get, but at least it offers variety. Then he brings up another band that he loves, Dream Theater, kind of does the same thing. Then he brings up an interesting point about the Metallica thing. A lot of people are picking up on the Paul Stanley Metallica bullshit. The only thing that about Metallica that interests Paul is how they can put out a $200 box set for each album that sells out every time. He's absolutely right. I'm surprised Kiss doesn't do that. They just sell fucking $40 splatter vinyls that idiots like me buy. Paul couldn't give 2 shits about them back when Eric was praising them. They weren't on MTV. They were still underground. And I cannot remember them ever mentioning Kiss. That's true. Meanwhile, Anthrax has praised Kiss from day one, opening up for them on the Crazy Nights tour. Everything is money with Paul and Gene. Same way you never know of Paul's love of Motown until Soul Station was created and it suited his needs. Looking forward to the Zeppelin episodes. Yes, Craig, thank you. If you're checking this out now, we just dropped the first of many Zeppelin Chronicles with Shout Out Loudcast favorite Murph and our buddy Jay from the Hook Rock. So check that out if you're a Zeppelin fan. And we got an email here from Joshua Smith. Oh, this is a good one. Hey, fellas, as always, love the show. Driving down to a party this weekend, and I asked my wife if we could listen to the new Talk to Me episode that had just come out. She said, yes, as long as I can read my book. You know I don't care about Kiss. So as a compromise was reached, and I fired up the podcast. After the talk of people shitting their pants for 30 minutes, had me laughing like an idiot, you guys eventually got to talking about Kiss. Never changed, by the way. I love it, he says. We got through the entire episode. My wife ended up listening to all of it and commenting along the entire way. But what stood out to me as the funniest moment was when my wife pauses the podcast, looks at me and says, do these guys even like Kiss? All they're doing is shitting on them. But I could listen to this all day. Your wife is like my new favorite fan, even though she doesn't like Kiss. I love it.
We need to have her be like fucking comment of the week, like to keep. We need comments from your wife, Josh. We definitely
maybe Josh Smith's wife could do like a bumper for the show. Hey, you listen to Shout Out Loudcast. These guys don't even like Kiss.
All they talk about is people shitting their pants and
how much they hate the band
and eating piss cakes.
He then finishes up. He says, we both agree that David Lee Roth was kicked off the tour because he alone blows Kiss out of the water. Even if Diamond Dave doesn't sound how he used to, him and his band blow Kiss off the stage musically any day of the week. Can't wait for next week's episode. P.S. Even though she dislikes Kiss, she has indulged me twice and has gone to see them with me and has always had a good time. Thank you, Josh Smith. Awesome email. That is awesome. Thank you for your wife for adding a little extra humor to the show this week too, buddy. That's awesome.
You're a very lucky man. The fact that you just said that, she still went and indulged you. That's an awesome partner, man.
Absolutely.
Be very thankful.
Yep. Good stuff.
Tom, I got one more thing I want to read. This is from Sean Geek Podcast over on our Facebook and Loudcasters page. He posted in both places. Talk to Me 3. Oh, man. This was a new thing for me. I'm a new listener to the show. And boy, did it feel good. Been a Kiss fan since 77, 78. First album was Alive too. And like anything you've been for that long, you have fights with it. You have disagreements with it. But in the end, you still rally behind it. I so needed this, guys. I was nervous when Doc McGee came into the picture all those years ago after representing all those bands in the 80s, what they were doing. He raised the bar for all those bands, blown them all up through the stratosphere. What could he do for Kiss? In the 80s, Kiss was the band I was made fun of. But under Doc McGee, they achieved the level of success I dreamt of. Now the kids that made fun of Kiss were buying tickets to the show. And just like in the late 70s, as their first decline happened, they tried hard to cater to everyone, sometimes at the expense of longtime fans. And sometimes fans, as sometimes fans tend to do, left when they found someone else of the moment. It drives me nuts, but I feel the same thing is happening now. Sometimes fans are coming to the show for that piece of nostalgia, but they aren't going to stay, especially since the nostalgia train with Fake Ace and Peter has been going for 20 years going. I still love the band, but Kiss is so good at shooting themselves in the foot. Listening to Doc, listening to their own egos, see the forest through the trees. This farewell tour should not have had Doc at the helm. It should have put both Gene and Paul in their place with some tough love. Step it up, change it up, give something back to the fans. These fans will talk it up, see the shows, and share the shit of it online. Do something new. Personally, I won't bother to see them again. It's been 6 times by now. I know the show, and if I really want to, I could buy the DVD. I just wish the band would have chosen to go out on top instead of falling down the hill. And for that, Sean Geek Podcast, you, my friend, are comment of the week.
Good answer. Good answer. I like the way you think. I'm going to be watching you.
Tom, I just love the part where he's talking about, they try to cater to everyone and meanwhile, be basically screwing up for everyone.
You hear that all the time. When any artist or anybody tries to please everyone, you end up pleasing no one. And it's a great point. It's a great email. A great comment.
Oh, we got to play the hits. We got to play the hits. Fucking whatever.
Please. Honestly, we could do a podcast just on the set list. Not an episode, like the whole show could just be the set list. Fucking say yeah. Oh my God. Give me a break.
Oh right. Man. We got to do this. One's a classic now. It's called Psycho Circus.
Dude, that song, that album is just trash.
Oh.
Speaking of Psycho Circus, real quick before we get into the news and stuff, somebody on I think it was a Loudcasters group got fucking bludgeoned by saying that Psycho Circus was his favorite Kiss album. I started to feel bad for the guy. He was getting just brutally abused by saying Psycho Circus was his favorite album, and I just sat back and laughed because he deserved all the abuse that he got.
Was that the guy that then started getting all personal with everybody?
Yes, that was it. Yeah.
And he started that's the one thing we talked about is we don't want our Loudcasters group to become toxic.
No,
now, I don't really care if somebody wants to, fuck Fake Fraley.
Right.
But I don't want them to be well, fuck you and your fucking opinion. That shit is the stuff that we don't want.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
We don't care if someone fucking has something to bitch about a little bit, but we don't want it to be just, us on a rant 24 hours a day, all day. That's what the group is about. It's not.
And if it's friendly, just going back and forth, I can't believe you like Psycho Circus. That album sucks. That's fine. But when you start getting into, the real harsh,
fuck yourselves and fuck your life.
Yeah. See you later. See you later, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah. See you later, fruitcake.
Yeah. God bless you, babe.
Wish you luck in the future. Yeah, Tom, great feedback this week. And if you noticed, a little shorter. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna try to keep this thing moving a little bit more quickly in the beginning because we have a lot of stuff to get to when we're talking about Revenge. More time for the album review. So, Tom, but before we move on, we want to talk about Patreon. Patreon is where people can come and support us and be part of our family there. And we have some little tidbits and little fun little things we also give to everybody that's part of the Pantheon group. We have 4 different tiers if people want to join. We love having them. The interaction's great. We actually have a group chat coming up soon, which we're all looking forward to. And it's been growing so much that we're constantly thinking of new ideas of what we can do to kind of make it even more fun and exciting. So we love the support. The Patreon people have been excellent and we appreciate it. And, all their contribution stuff really go back into the show. And it's been a great addition this year. And we're really proud of the family that we got going there. You can find Patreon on the app, Patreon, or patreon.com, Patreon. And in the episode notes, there's a section there. You can click on it with all the links. It'll go Patreon. You can go right there. If you need to find us, you just search for creators. You just search Shout It Out Loudcast and you'll find us there.
Yeah, absolutely. We say it every week. Patreon, you guys are amazing. The family is growing. We can't express our gratitude more. And like Zeus said, we got some things coming up. And some of the things that we do, for example, depending on what tier you're on, we have some exclusive polls that help people actually interact with the show and decide certain things that are going to happen on the show, sneak peeks into episodes that nobody knows until, we do a coming soon, which is a really obscure teaser for a lot of people. But if you're on Patreon, you're going to get an advance notice of what we're talking about. So you don't have to wait until Saturday morning. And you're also going to have some interactive polls and some things to talk about, some chats that we're going to be doing. So, as Patreon grows, like Zeus said, we're going to expand our involvement with all of you as well and keep that family growing. So again, we thank you guys very, very much.
And we got some exciting things coming up.
Yep. All right. One last thing. I just wanted to give it a little thing here about our coming soon. A lot of times we make them obscure. We make them teasers, confusing. A couple people guessed it, but this week, because we're doing Revenge, that coming soon is a movie poster from a recent horror movie called The Unholy. Couple of you guys did get it. So I thought that was pretty impressive. But yeah, we try to make them as obscure as possible. It's kind of turned into a game with some people who try to guess. So again, we try to make that fun. We're not going to put coming soon and put a picture of the album cover. We want to, if you're a new listener, we try to make these things very, very crazy, obscure, and difficult to guess. Some people guess them, and that makes it kind of fun. So,
yeah. So, Tom, let's go. Kiss World. What's going on? Yeah. Anything new since last time we were on the air?
Kiss World is not where we want it to be right now. Obviously, the huge breaking news was Paul getting COVID, tour being postponed at the last minute, then the show being postponed at the last minute, then the tour being postponed, and then what do you know? A few days later, Gene comes down. He was diagnosed with COVID. They both seem to be doing very well. Paul is posting pictures of himself as if he can't be the most miserable fucking human on the planet with that puss on his face.
Oh
forget about the who farted face. That is like
lemon lips himself.
Just brutal. And then Gene is busy fucking tweeting about how excited he is that ABBA has a new album. I mean,
or better yet, fighting with somebody online. I'm like, is that Joe Piscopo? What the fuck is that? The guy's name was Joe Piscopo. I'm you're like, is that really him? I'm like, 200 followers? You never know.
I know. But no, I mean, they seem to be doing all right. But yeah, the fact that they were both diagnosed, obviously not a good sign. It's nice to see that they're recovering. They were vaccinated, but they are older. They're 70, but it's nice to see that they're doing well. The tour has been postponed. There hasn't been anything crystal clear about when they're going to go back on tour now, especially with Gene, with his diagnosis. Also, the Australia tour has been postponed again until 2022.
They're playing for a fucking pool of octopus, I heard, this time in Australia.
They are. That's right. They're going to do an underwater show. Yeah, they're going to take some of that plexiglass from the meet and greet and build a fucking cage for them to get in.
Fake Fraley, get in your scuba gear. Entertain those mollusks.
But all jokes aside, as you know, we're fired up for the Kiss cruise, and we're just wondering what the hell's going on. We haven't heard anything about it. It's now we're officially under the 2-month mark for the Kiss cruise.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Who knows what's going on? But that was the major news, obviously.
Yeah, Tom, I just, I don't want to sit here and dwell about it.
Yeah,
the good thing about it is the way I look at it is our heroes are old. They got COVID. Knock on wood. They look like they're over it.
Yep.
And they made it through.
I agree.
So we don't have to worry about them getting COVID and something bad happened to them because they got it. They're both vaccinated, thank God. And so their symptoms and, health was obviously helped along by this vaccination, and they're healthier.
Yep.
Now we don't have to worry about them catching it and maybe being as bad again. So I feel like they might have a little bit more confidence in themselves. Like, hey, I got it. We went through it. We'll be more careful so our fans don't get it. But their fear of getting it is over. So I feel like maybe they'll be more like, okay, let's just fucking go on and battle through it. And I feel comfortable that our current heroes have gone through it, and nothing bad happened to them, thankfully.
Yeah, I hope you're right, but I just don't know if a decision like that is going to be made based on how they feel personally. I think they're going to make a decision based on a more global decision, but you might be right. They might look at it and be like, hey, we survived it. We got it. We're through it. Let's go ahead. I don't know. If they are going to make a decision, they're going to have to make it soon.
What I'm thinking is like, well, we do have to worry about with Tommy and Eric. Paul, fuck them.
You know why? Because fuck them. That's why.
But shouldn't we care about them, getting this? Why would we put them at risk? Because fuck them. That's why.
A lot of people ask why. Why treat the customer this way? Why? Because fuck them. That's why.
Plus, Paul, do you have any idea how much money we'll lose if we cancel this tour and this cruise? Fuck them.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what's going on in Kiss World. We're not going to fucking go on this a little bit any further. But one other thing in Shout It Out Loudcast world, you guys, I think we briefly said something about it earlier, but we did put out this week the Zeppelin Chronicles introduction. And that's with our buddy Jay from the Hook Rocks and family member Shout Out Loudcast Murph. And for those of you that are Kiss fans, I would say maybe 95% of you are Zeppelin fans. And those two are two of our favorite bands. And when we were starting to do album review crew stuff, we thought about it and we're like, we don't want to waste a Zeppelin album because we want to hit all the albums. It'll take too long. So let's do something different, but we don't have the time. And I know that's the running gag with all the feedback is like, where the fuck you find the time? You're damn right. Hence Patreon. Thank you for helping us out during this time because it's very time inducing and it takes a lot of research and that stuff comes in handy. For us, we planned this. If you go back and listen to us at the end of last year, we said to you, things are coming.
Yep.
Okay. Amongst them was this.
Yep.
It took until September to get this just right for you guys. And, it still wasn't perfect for us, but we felt comfortable getting this on the road and getting it going. That's the kind of commitment you get from us. That's the kind of what's the word I'm looking for, Tom?
Dedication.
Yeah. We're not throwing shit against the wall. I'm like, hey, do you like Zeppelin too? Let's just talk about it.
Do you like Jimmy Page? Me too. He's a good guitar. Do you like Cashmere? Me too.
or better yet, putting posts up on Twitter. Is Led Zeppelin good?
Name a good Zeppelin song.
Yes. Good Zeppelin song. Go. Like, we're not doing stupid clickbait, stupid shit like that.
No. We're talking about people who put cucumbers up their ass. That's what we're doing.
We're talking about relevant, fucking important stuff.
Serious world events.
So anyways, we talked about doing this. We got it right. We have the right team, and we went through fucking couple different ideas and stuff like that. We love having it done with Jay, who's awesome over at the Hook Rocks. Big, passionate Zepp head. And, of course, Murph, who you guys all know and love and adds so much fucking, what's the word I'm looking for, Tom? I'm drawing a blank with Murph.
Controlled passion. How about that?
So much of his fucking, us, but simmered down us.
Yeah, it's us on like a little bit of a sedative.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Give him a sedative? Oh, never mind. You're not a big Young Frankenstein fan, I bet either.
That's okay.
Oh, okay, Sonny.
Yeah, meh.
Yeah. Meh. Anyways, Tom, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Zepp Chronicles before we get into.
Oh, yeah. Match. Yep. And stay tuned because after that is the Rush Chronicles. It's when I do the show by myself.
Yeah. Right following that will be the George Jones Country Whistling Contest. We'll be doing that too as well, alone. Anyway, I thank you guys for that, and let's get on to Revenge.
Yeah, we've been talking about doing this one for a while. We always try to map out our album reviews so that they're not chronological. You never know where we're coming with them. We try to check off each section of their career, makeup, non-makeup, 70s, 80s, 90s, etc. It's revenge time. And this one is going to be, I don't want to say too much about it until we get into it, but it's this is going to be a good episode. There's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah. And let's just start by what we always start with, Tom. Do you remember when you first got involved with Revenge?
I do. Yeah, the story's kind of interesting because we were in college at the time, or I remember hearing about the Bill and Ted thing with God Gave Rock and Roll to You, and I was like, that's kind of weird, whatever. Because I had seen Kiss on the Hot in the Shade tour in 1990, and then not long after they did the song for Bill and Ted, and I was like, all right. But the thing that really burned in my brain was my friend Chris, who Murph knows, big Kiss fan, like Metallica, Dokken fan, all that stuff. We were watching MTV, and I believe it was the premiere, or it was the premiere for us because we had never seen it, of the Unholy video. And I remember watching the video, and we literally looked at each other and said, holy fuck, how is this Kiss? Because their last album had, Hide Your Heart and Rise to It and Forever, which was great. And then we're like, what the fuck is going on with this band that we love? We couldn't believe it. I ended up buying the CD of Revenge at one of those used places down in downtown Boston that we used to go to all the time. I got it for cheap. And I don't know why I bought it for cheap at the time, but I grabbed it at one of those places where they sell all, used stuff or stuff from dealers or, third party, whatever. Sometimes they had the little tab taken out of them, the top, the cutout bin, whatever you call it. But I had it, been listening to it ever since. It's a memorable album for me. And like I said, I remember exactly where I was when I was first kind of exposed to this entire Revenge thing. So that was it for me. What about you?
All right. For me, it was similar. We're in college. At this point, Kiss has kind of fallen off.
Yep.
And then I remember hearing, and it could have been from you, saying to me, have you fucking heard the new one? And of course, I ran out and bought it. And I played Unholy. And I'm like, holy fuck, what is this?
Yeah.
Is this Kiss? Like, seriously being like, holy shit. And I think that was another part of the Tom and Zeus. We had our own new music that we get into. The hair metal stuff gets put kind of in the back burner, and you move your CDs a little further up, and the ones start coming in are the Alice in Chains, the Soundgardens, Pearl Jams, the Nirvanas, and all that stuff. But all of a sudden, our Kiss stuff is still there with that level. And it got me and you talking more and more about Kiss again. It renewed our love of the band. And again, it's one thing to pick it up on your own. It's another when you finally find a Kiss friend to bounce that off of. As much as you bounce it off of Murph isn't a lifelong Kiss fan.
Right.
But when we started learning this album and playing it and hearing Domino and all the other songs on it, then I just want to and take it off. Holy shit. And it, I have to say, Tom, it correlates and is compounded with the fact that we got Extreme Close-Up right after.
Oh yeah, I was just going to say that. Yep.
So
I'm glad you brought that up.
In hand.
Yep, absolutely.
And watching then the minutia, the millionth viewing of having Extreme Close-Up playing. So by time I would say the greatest year of my juvenile life, junior year at Stonehill, when we all were for a little bit, that moment in the sun where you were in a relationship with Bo Derek in her prime. That one time, that one girlfriend that you couldn't believe you got because she was way out of your league. And you think back, how the fuck did that happen?
Yep.
That was our junior year in college.
Yes,
we got a taste, a slice of being with your best friends in the prime of your life. With no responsibilities. I've got to work just enough to get by in college and do your shit. And it was just fucking heaven. In the meantime, we've described this before, and I don't know if you guys remember, we had this one big ass suite.
Mm-hmm.
So the middle room was just a fucking playground for fucking miscreants. And then we each had like side little, bed, what do you call it? Bedrooms.
Dorm room. The dorm bedrooms, yeah.
Off the middle suite. Mm-hmm. Well, what we decided to do is pool all our resources together.
Here we go.
And we went to RCA?
Rent a center.
Whatever the fuck you call it.
Rent a center.
And we rented a fucking like 80 fucking inch TV.
But it was the kind that like your grandmother would have. It was like a piece of furniture.
Yeah, it was one of those projection things.
Yeah, yeah.
And we put it in the center. We had couches all around.
Yep.
If you went to class, something was playing. You woke up at 2 a.m, walked out, something was playing.
Always.
We always had something playing. And it was usually Slapshot, Revenge of the Nerds, Animal House, Coming to America, and a fucking Extreme Close-Up.
And the VHS tape that I brought from home with all the Beavis and Butthead episodes taped off of MTV.
Yes. And we'd fucking dissect those.
Yep.
We fucking watched Extreme Close. You have no idea. Like, people that don't like Kiss fucking were used to seeing it on the TV.
Oh, unbelievable.
We played that nonstop. With that became the new love of the Revenge era Kiss and the Revenge album. So I know we'll get into the facts about Revenge and the fact that although we all love it and critics love it and fans love it, they didn't sell that well. Neither did the tour. But to us, everybody thinks that, oh my God, didn't this go triple platinum? Wasn't this the biggest thing?
Yep.
We fucking fell in love with it. And this album has a real sentimental spot in my heart, and I'm assuming yours too.
Oh, no doubt.
And that's where my memory really comes. When I think of this, I think of college. I think of Extreme Close-Up. And I just think of like this era of Kiss where you're like fucking proud.
Yep.
They're back. They're bad.
Yep.
They kick ass.
You check. Yeah. The college years in terms of music. I mean, we love the grunge stuff. We had that. We had the Guns N' Roses with the Use Your Illusion stuff. You had Kiss coming back with Revenge and Extreme Close-Up. I mean, it was just everything that we loved was happening all at the same time. And you're right. Between this CD and that video, VHS video of Extreme Close-Up, it just hammered home just like it. And Kiss knew it with that video. It rejuvenated the love of the band. Classic clips, new clips, the album itself. We're going to get into what we think about it, but it was a great time for sure.
Yeah. And and with that, let's get on to the cover. Your thoughts?
I like it. It's supposed to be like a battleship or something, bullet holes, revenge kind of scribbled on there. I guess maybe it's supposed to be blood or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. And then you read about some of the things, revenge. What's the revenge? Revenge against fans that gave up on them, revenge against critics, revenge against themselves because now they found their way back with a harder edge. Like what's the revenge? What's that? What does that mean? When you see that. So I mean, it's cool. I don't not like it. I think the back cover is really interesting. We'll get to that. Why don't you talk about what you think about the front of the main cover first, and we'll talk about the back.
I'm fine. I like, again, for non-makeup Kiss.
Yeah.
You're not really much to play with. Sometimes the band would put their face on the cover. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they don't. The previous album, they didn't. I believe the previous, 3 or 4, they did, right? So Lick It Up, they were on the cover. Animalized, they weren't. Asylum, they were. Crazy Nights, they were.
Smashes.
Hot and Shade, they weren't.
Yep.
Smashes, they were. I mean, a little back and forth. This is, it portrays something. I think it's definitely better than Hot in the Shade. But, how good can they be with non-makeup Kiss? Now, as far as the back cover goes, settle down.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. For the time, it's like, ooh, bad boys, scare. Oh, revenge. Oh, my God, there's blood on the cover. They're wearing black coats. They're so scary. Oh, now Gene looks fucking legitimately awesome. Paul, stand up straight. You look like an idiot with your fucking legs like that. Bruce, I love you, Bruce. Not sure what's happening.
That looks like Chris Jericho's WWE jacket. And
Yeah.
those you guys know what I'm talking about. The one that there's all lights on the back. That looks just like it.
And then, of course, you got Eric Singer with the bright blonde hair. So I get it. You know, I get it. It was 92, whatever. But it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. What do you think about the inside? Besides the lyrics on the inside, what do you think of this picture on the inside?
I think, well, first of all, Paul looks like somebody just asked him a question that he doesn't know the answer to. Like his face, that he's got
the eyebrow.
He's got the crooked man eyebrow going.
Crooked man.
He's got Gene looks fucking great. You know, Bruce and I think they look great. Paul honestly just looks confused. I just don't understand that face. It's okay. It's pretty good. Gene looks fucking amazing. Gene is just the man during this whole fucking era for me.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's okay.
And I guess the album cover was done by somebody named Hugh Simey.
Yeah, who if you know anything about Rush, that guy was heavily involved with Rush album covers. So he did a lot of like graphic, kind of a lot of like graphic type things. He's done stuff for Rush. I think he did some things for Def Leppard. I think he did some things for Dream Theater. He's done some things for Iron Maiden, I believe. He's done some things for Styx, White Snake, Queensryche, Aerosmith. He's well known more, or for me at least, because I'm a Rush fan. When you hear that name, you think of his Rush covers. When you see the Rush covers that he's done and you see Revenge, it's like, it doesn't really seem like his style, but it's okay. The album cover is okay.
Yeah, they wanted to get this guy named Storm Thurgeson, who did like Pink Floyd and Zeppelin album covers.
Yes.
And they figured that this guy was like the American him.
Yep.
So
Yep. He's a big name.
Yeah. But let's get to the facts of Revenge.
Go for it.
Came out May 1992. Produced by Bob Ezrin. Now, big difference in Gene and Paul are getting producer credits on this one.
Yep.
And going back to Ron Nevison, and then going back to a fucking badass like Bob Ezrin, who has enough respect that says, "Nah, you're doing it this way."
Yep.
Right.
And it was interesting too, because of course the Bob Ezrin thing with talking about the quote unquote, whether they were real or not, the hard feelings from the elder, but looking back fondly on Destroyer. Of course, when you hear Bob Ezrin Kiss, you think Destroyer, arguably their best record, which is not. And then, the elder, arguably their worst record. It's not. Nope. But you bring him in for this, and it's like, oh shit. Okay. Shit's getting real. We made it through the 80s. We love those albums. A lot of fans don't. We're going big time here. We're getting Bob Ezrin back. What are we going to do? So having him back was huge, and kind of mending those fences, particularly with Paul, was a big deal too, with Paul and Bob, and getting them back on the same page for the production of this.
Yeah. Bob talks about the fact that Paul wasn't happy with him. I think Bob realized that. I think Paul had a lot of hurt feelings about how the way the elder fell apart and was a disaster. Yep. And Bob was a mess back then on drugs and things like that, and probably couldn't see straight. And it's like, yeah, this is great. And like, he let them down. And anytime you read anything, Bob Ezrin is always so courteous and like, seems like nervous that Paul will get upset with him, always overextending himself.
Yeah.
Even Bruce talks about it. Oh yeah, Bob's a fucking Paul guy.
Yep.
To the detriment of Gene. Like, he talks to Gene like shit.
Oh yeah.
To Paul, it's like, maybe we should try something different.
Oh yeah.
To Gene, he's like, yeah, that sucks, buddy.
Yeah. Gene, that blows. Paul, let's try something different.
Yeah.
So yeah. He respects Paul, and the thing about Bob too that you like when you read about him, particularly about this album is that, you know, he's pretty forthright in acknowledging some of the mistakes that he made in the past and trying to work towards correcting them on an album like Revenge. He's not like, oh, fucking Paul and Gene, they made me do all that. You know, he owns some of the responsibility for what people refer to as the debacle known as The Elder, and was willing to work towards correcting that. So,
yeah. So the the other part too, and we'll connect this stuff later when we get into the actual song, and that is that they got it together with Bob because Bob was part of that Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
And they decided to do God Gave Rock and Roll to You, a remake of the old Argent song.
Mm-hmm.
And Bob was going to produce it for that. And they asked Kiss to do it. They're like, yeah, why not? Let's see if we can, get some of that magic back with Bob. And I don't want to get too much into that song, but that they had a good experience with Bob on that song. So they, decided that, okay, our next album, we're doing this together with you. And thank God they did.
Yeah, exactly. Because you got to wonder what kind of, like, the way that things happen, hooking up with him or being asked to do God Gave Rock and Roll to You for that Bill and Ted's movie, and then taking a chance on having that discussion to say, hey, we want an album. Let's have you join us and do that. Having it work out the way it did, it's just something as Kiss fans that we're lucky that it got to that point and that it worked out the way it did.
Yeah. So the album is technically considered the 16th studio album.
Mm-hmm.
It's dedicated to Eric Carr. It's the first with Eric Singer since obviously Eric Carr's death in November of 91. It went all the way to number 6. It is only gold, which I am shocked.
Yep.
But
Unbelievable.
but then again, it was only like they haven't tried to recertify that. I think this is done in like the 90s. It was considered gold.
Yep.
Right. It hasn't been done again, certified since then. And that way, I mean, there's no way that thing is still just gold.
And it's crazy too when you think about an album that had multiple videos, 4 videos, I believe, 5 singles.
5 singles, 5 videos.
Correct. 5 video. I mean, they were pushing this heavy, and it did get a lot of play. A lot of people loved it, but let's be honest here. It was 1992. Kiss were like just a relic of the past because at that time you were knee deep in grunge and alternative. They had taken over the world, and pretty much the only bands that were surviving in any way were bands that were already huge, were Metallica and Guns N' Roses. In this era, Kiss was they survived a little bit off of Hot in the Shade and those hits, but at this time, a lot of people thought that what they were doing on Revenge was transparent. Whether or not it was is for you to decide. But with the look and the image, they thought that they were kind of just trying a little bit too hard. But that's okay. That's what bands do. But a lot of people thought that they were trying to fit in to this era, and it wasn't really an honest record for them. Whereas the bands, like I mentioned, like Metallica and Guns N' Roses, were kind of continuing what they were doing, although Metallica fans might say that they weren't being honest to their fans either with the Black Album, but we'll save that.
The album went number 6. To me, that's even bigger than how the other future albums like Sonic Boom, Monster, and all of them went to 3 and 2, because albums, CDs and stuff were being purchased then. And this went all the way up to number 6.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple other like songs that didn't make the album. There's the one that's kind of out there. Do You Want to Touch Me Now? With Paul did with the guy from Skid Row, Dave the Snake there, Sabo. And he did something with Janie Lane from Warrant, If You Could See Through My Eyes. We're not going to get into that stuff in the demos for that, so we can save it for a future episode, things like that.
Yeah.
But, you kind of mentioned it, Tom. It's a new look. It's a new title, a new attitude, new drummer, the first blonde guy in Kiss.
Yes.
And I just want to start with the one thing that, Bruce says, and I believe I saw this in Behind the Mask. Crazy Night was Nevison's trip. Hot in the Shade was a compromise between Gene and Paul's demos. Revenge is the best of everything.
Bruce Kulick loves this album, and he should. And believe me, I was going to save this, but since we're talking about Bruce, go back, listen to our 100th episode with Bruce and Chris Jericho. We do a Bruce Kulick draft. Bruce talks about pretty much every song on this album. He has unbelievably fond memories of the recording of this album, the touring, and the album itself, and he should.
Jesse Damon, Jamie St. James, and Tommy Thayer provide some backing vocals on this album as well.
Yep.
There's a couple ghost players on this, and we'll get to them when they get onto the album.
Oh, geez, yeah.
As always with these things, Kiss can't just do something for themselves. They always gotta fucking bring somebody in, and that's because of their fucking producer, which annoys the shit out of me. However, in addition, they also bring back fellow former member and legendary Three's Company actress Joyce DeWitt comes back for this episode.
Unbelievable. Joyce DeWitt and Private Cusano make an appearance on Revenge. And Vinny, even in the book Behind the Mask, Vinny says that they ran into Gene and Paul, talked about doing some things together. And of course, Gene doesn't have very fond memories because he's like, we made an agreement. We would do songs. We would write songs. And of course, Vinny reneged on his deals, blah, 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 blah. But let's be serious. Vinny's contributions as a songwriter cannot be denied. They can't be. The guy has something in him where he can put together a fucking killer Kiss track. Just awesome, awesome stuff.
Great chemistry with Gene and Paul. The thing that I would probably add about them and bringing Vinny back is Gene talks about that Vinny convinced him because he apologized in front of people. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do this. He was like seeming so genuine in front of other people. That's the old past. Believe me, I've changed, is new. And he goes, as soon as the album was over, the old Vinny came back and he sued us like 13, 14 times and lost. And then persona non grata. And then since that time, Paul and Gene have both been like, fuck you. Until Gene brought him back for the Vault again. And they were cool. And then Vinny went back out on a fucking, I don't know, radio show or podcast and was like, Gene was so mean to me. He was acting like he was doing me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
He was.
Yeah, he was. He was. And some interesting comments from the band's manager at that time, Larry Mazer. Some great comments in the book we always talk about, Behind the Mask. Great stuff here where he says, listen, we have to bring back the Prince of Darkness. That is what real Kiss fans want. Larry says, when I was interviewed to be their manager, I said to them, if I'm going to do this, this is what has to happen. Gene, no more Simmons records, no more managing Liza Minnelli, no more sticking your tongue out on stage because people don't care about that anymore. With makeup, it's one thing, but without it, you look like an old man. We've got to take this to the next level. Gene Simmons has to come back and be a member of Kiss. And he said that they had to start with a Gene track, and it's got to be, quote unquote, a metal radio track. So Larry Mazer was instrumental in creating what makes this album what it is, a very hard rocking metal borderline album, heavy on the Gene Demon stuff.
And it's a great part in this, and we could have waited or got into it when we go into the individual songs, where he says to him, yeah, and Domino should be the next. And then Gene it's like, no, we can't do that to Paul.
Exactly.
And and this is what I want to say to Gene, Paul would fucking do to you, and he's been doing it for years.
He's been doing it for the last 10 years.
Dude, there ain't no Gene single here. Fuck that. They're all my songs.
Yep.
If he felt that he put on better material, fuck Gene. I don't care what he thinks. Gene, your material is better than Paul's. Yeah, but let's let Paul go.
Yep.
Always way more gracious than he's ever received by Paul.
Yeah. The Larry Mazer says, why? And Gene says, we have to keep the peace.
Yeah. Yeah. Why? Because I am partners with the most sensitive man in all of history. That's why.
Exactly.
And the band is not paying for more therapy sessions for Mr. Stanley.
No.
And before we finally get into the tracks, one last thing, and that is the elephant in the room. And that is unfortunate passing of Eric Carr and the torch being passed to Eric Singer.
Yeah. We talk about this and how, Eric is how beloved he is. And he was sick. They had Eric Singer come in and play with them a little bit on the God Gave Rock and Roll to You. They thought that Eric could rest and get healthy and eventually come back to the band. Unfortunately, we know what happened. God rest his soul. Eric Carr passed, and Eric Singer took over at that point. Eric Singer had played with Paul on Paul's solo tour back in the late 80s. So Paul had a relationship with him. At the time, it wasn't meant to be a permanent thing. Of course, the tragedy struck and Eric Carr passed, gave Eric Singer the seat behind the drums for that era.
Yeah, what you had was Eric was obviously, like you're saying, he was in Paul's band. And then when he's on the coast, he's having Paul play on Paul's demos for the album.
Yep.
And so it's kind of, look, we'll save it for an episode, but Eric's Carr's constant worrying that I'm going to lose my place. I'm going to lose my place. And that guy's going to replace me.
Yep.
We talk about the big what ifs. Would he have if Eric lived?
Right.
We'll save that for a different episode. And but to me, it's huge. Eric Carr was loved, and all of a sudden you got Eric Singer, who is really respected and very much liked in the rock community, but he's got some big shoes to fill. And at this time, I don't think the fans really knew the background story of the kind of tension between Paul, Gene, and the Carr family, and the tension of Eric, about his role in the band and Eric Singer coming in. All we thought of was we lost Eric, but the band needs to continue. Oh, they got Eric Singer. He's a great drummer, and he looks like he fucking fits in. Great. The music will live on.
Right.
We didn't know the story behind there. And I thought Eric Singer, did the best he could. He fucking had to replace Eric Carr. He's had to replace Peter Criss. Not easy for a guy to do all this shit.
Yeah, and you're right. Without the benefit of the internet back then, we didn't understand the timeline about how Eric Singer was already helping the band out a little bit while Eric Carr was sick. And now we took over. Like you said, we just thought that there was a terrible tragedy within the band, which there was, and then that Eric Singer took over. Now we know the story of it, and depending on who you talk to, the stories may vary, but we're not going to get into the politics of the story. We're going to stick to the facts of the story.
Yeah. As we're talking about this, we're getting a text from the lovely Carrie Stevens.
That is amazing.
What a coincidence.
That is amazing.
She's on Monsters of Rock. I think she hosts that from time to time. So when she is, go listen to it. Obviously not now, but it's we love Carrie. And as we can see above her text, Tom, is one of those awesome photos that she had sent us with her and Eric above. And it just, it's one of those things. Do we look back on this as bittersweet, sad, optimistic? What do you think when you hear God Gave Rock and Roll to You? Are you saddened? Are you inspired? Do you, all this going into this album? I choose to look at it as we're empowered, revenge. We're back. Fuck cancer. Fuck this. We're going to rock. And, we love Eric, and this is dedicated to him. And that's why this album is a fucking kick-ass album.
Absolutely.
This is dedicated to a fucking kick-ass person like Eric Carr.
Yep.
With that being said, Tom, you want to start it off with a fucking kick-ass song or what? Track number 1. Here we go.
All right. Unholy. What can you say about this song? All right. Well, I'll start. This, to me, is by far, this is me, the Demon Gene song. You got God of Thunder, you got War Machine, you got all these songs. This right here is Gene. It has, now Kiss is not a riff band, okay? They're not a riff band. They're not like Sabbath. They're not like Metallica. They have one of the greatest hard rock metal riffs ever in this song, only to probably compete with something like War Machine. They're not a riff band. And what do you know? Both of these riff-based songs are heavy Demon Gene songs. Fucking perfect. The Bruce solo is insane. He's on fire on this entire album. We talked about that when we had him on for that 100th episode. I already referenced that. Just unbelievable stuff going on this song. I mean, we could talk about it forever. The chorus, just the verses. I know some people say Gene lays it on a little thick with the demonic lyrics, but again, it's 92. It's the return of the demon. The name of the song is Unholy, so everything that he's saying and singing, I'm on board with it. Fucking perfect song. Just can't get enough of this. I listen to it. I listen to this album all the time anyways, and this song right here is just, oh. I mean, he got some help from Vinnie writing it too, so there you go. Unholy, written by Gene Simmons and Vinnie Vincent. So do you think Vinnie is makes good songs with Kiss? What do you think? That's what I'm saying. He's undeniable. Yep, absolutely. Now, this is technically the second single because God Gave Rock and Roll, though, to the soundtrack. Correct. Is on this album. Yep. It didn't chart for some reason. Yep, which is insane. Yeah. A guy named Jesse Damon from Silent Rage, who's a Gene Simmons Records band guy, provided backing vocals on this. Gene says that it's based on Keep Me Waiting. I don't get that at all. I'm like listening to him like, where's the Keep Me Waiting in this? I have no idea. Vinnie suggested a number of changes, and I came up with the chorus, including some great lyrics. I think he's attributing that comment to Vinnie, some great lyric ideas. Yep. There's the Ezrin build up in this. Oh. The lyrics are the demon is back. The fucking chorus, Unholy. Oh my God. I am created by man. I am the Lord of the fly. That it just fucking rocks. The solo by Bruce. The scream at the end by Gene. Yep. Right? He says he got the idea to Unholy from Adam Mitchell's song that he written with Doro Pesh. Yep. It sung like Unholy Love or something like that. I never heard of it, but the song is just so different in so many ways. Heavy, dark, demon-like, and the first fucking real single from the album in first real video. Yeah. That didn't happen since I Love It Loud. I Love It Loud. That's right. Right? Yep. It just blew us all away. Yeah. It's a fucking tragedy they don't play this live anymore. Don't even get me going. I was going to save that for the end, but it does make it to a live 3. Mm-hmm. For some reason, there's some story that it's very difficult to play live. I've heard that as well. The bass line or something like that and sing. I don't know. Yep. But unfortunately, they don't play it live. Yep. There is this funny story. And I told you about it, Tom. You weren't really familiar with it. This is awesome. So apparently there's Steve Wright's favorite all-time band, Danger Danger. There's a story of their lead singer, Ted Poley. And I read about it one point a while back about like it was him and something in Paul Stanley. I'm like, what the hell happened between those two guys? Well, I'm going to read to you what I got this off of sleazerock.com. They told, here's the story, how it goes. In 1992, Danger Danger was very hot on an MTV Video Countdown, a fact that helped land us, I guess this is Ted saying, opening slot on the UK leg of a Revenge tour. The very first night we put on a kick-ass over-the-top show during which I've even tossed 3 towels out into the crowd. Immediately after the performance, I ran off stage in my arena playing hyper-psych state of mind, not quite looking where I was going. Let's face it, didn't really matter because I just opened for Kiss. The next thing I knew, my head was bumping into something yet hard, slightly fuzzy. I look up to find Gene Simmons from Kiss grinning back at me from above. As it turns out, I just smashed face first into his lower chest area, which tells you just how tall the guy is, or how short I am, if you prefer. Upon looking down, Gene's first words to me were, "That was a really great show. You owe me $18. Gene is a nice guy, but he can be very intimidating, and he loves to scare people. I wasn't quite sure what to say in response, so I said nothing at all.
Gene must have noticed the puzzled look on my face because he repeated himself. You owe me $18. He then continued, you tossed out 3 towels. Those towels cost $6 each. Those were my towels, and I want you to pay for them personally, not your tour manager. You. I was in shock. I felt ashamed. One of my gods was punishing me. Gene waited in that very spot until I went into my wallet and pulled out my last $20, my only $20, and I paid him for the towels. While pocketing my per diem food money, he smiled at me and said, feel free to keep tossing out as many towels as you can afford to pay for yourself. I immediately got the point. I was the new kid in town, and I shouldn't be trying to steal the show. A valuable lesson learned from the low cost of only $18. Though I had already been nervous about meeting the members of KISS before my encounter with Gene, but now I was absolutely terrified. I was so scared. Not only could I not bring myself to speak to them, I couldn't even look at them in the eyes when they came near me. Whenever someone from KISS was around, I would simply put my head down and keep walking. One night, after I said I was backstage walking down the corridor toward our dressing room, when suddenly Paul Stanley entered from the other end. When I saw him approaching, I really wanted to say hello and introduce myself, but I got starstruck and lost my nerve. So I ended up just looking down at my shoes, walking past without saying anything. But when I got to them in the hallway, I heard Paul belting out my name at the top of his lung to the tune of their new single, Unholy. The words and melody just fit perfectly. Ted Poley. I don't care if this sounds lame, but that was one of the greatest moments of my life. 3 Gene Simmons towels, $18. Suing Sony several years later, a few million bucks. Paul Stanley singing my name at the top of his lungs, priceless.
That's so amazing. That is awesome. Love it. Danger still sucks though, Steve, so it doesn't matter.
Ed Poley.
Oh my God. All right, let's talk about this video now. Oh. So there's some great stuff about this video in Greg Prado's amazing book, Take It Off, Kiss Truly Unmasked. And check out our previous episode with Greg when he was on here. He did a long form interview with Paul Rackman, who is the director of Unholy, I Just Wanna, and Domino. And this guy also directed videos for Alice in Chains, Temple of the Dog, and Pantera. So it was interesting how they talked about the making of the video, the details of the video. And if you've seen the video, you know what we're talking about. If you haven't, go on YouTube. I think it's, for the time, it was pretty crazy and menacing and kick-ass and badass. Now, in hindsight, 2021, you're like, all right, I get it. You know, it's Gene and the band. They're in like a faded kind of gray, black and white kind of thing. Gene looks super diminished. And then in the meantime, you got a bunch of little kids dancing around, pentagrams, the shadow they cast on the wall. They're like demon children. And of course, the people were protesting at MTV, Christian protests for the kids. Fucking relax with this, for God's sakes, a fucking Kiss song. But the video, you know, Gene looks amazing. Paul's trying really hard with his little fucking crossed arms, doing his little fucking dance move there.
And doing his like look. Ooh. Yeah, he's doing his look.
Unholy. Ooh. I mean, I think Gene looks awesome, but then again, I'm a Gene guy, so what can I tell you?
It begins with that ultrasound of the baby, and then and you see Bruce's fingers playing. You first see this, like you remember what Gene looked like through the Asylum, Hot in the Shade, Crazy Nights videos, and all of a sudden you see this Gene.
Yep.
What the fuck happened? His eyes are rolled back of his head, a goatee looking crazy, skull shirt, all in fucking black leather, black fingernails, heavy fucking goth jewelry. Yep. Kids fucking menacing playing, looking like Nightmare on Elm Street, little children play. Like also the winged twins with the kid shadow looking like a demon. Oh, it's just fucking awesome.
Awesome video for the time. Yeah, absolutely.
Then, you know, Paul with the crossing his arm, unholy.
Yeah, when he's like, cross your heart and hope to die. And Paul's like, ooh, cross my arm. Ooh, yeah.
What a way to kick off an album.
Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah. So, ready to go to the next one?
Let's do it. So you start off with one of the all-time great Gene songs, and you go right into one of the all-time great Paul songs, which we talk about this a lot. Maybe, arguably, the lyrical height for Paul Stanley in Take It Off. I mean, this, first of all, the lyrics, yes, we'll talk about that. Musically, the song is fucking phenomenal. The chorus is amazing. The verses, the way that this song just flows. But I got one small thing with the song. One tiny little thing that runs through this album. And it's the Bob Ezrin breakdown that he always finds the need to throw that into the song. This one, it's okay. It's okay. It brings you back into the song. I get it. I know Ezrin loves to do that. I could probably do without it, but I get it. It fits in the song. It's okay. But Take It Off is just fucking phenomenal. The ultimate anthem for the stripper. Oh, fantastic.
Take It Off, written by Paul Stanley, Bob Ezrin, and Kane Roberts. It's an Alice Cooper guy there.
Yep.
For some reason, we're back to fucking Kevin Valentine on the drums.
Yeah, read why.
Well, apparently Eric was still on tour. Well, he was going on tour back with Alice Cooper, and he didn't finish the track yet. So they're like, all right, just have Kevin do it, or something like that.
Yeah. Eric's like, I was getting late. Like, what the fuck does that mean? It was getting late.
Fucking tell Alice Cooper and his shitty band to wait.
You're the fucking drummer in Kiss. I don't give a shit what time it is.
Yeah. I've talked about this song 100 times. It's the best Paul sleazy lyrics.
By far.
Fucking makes sense.
Oh.
Awesome. It works. The lyrics are fucking cleverly sleazy, cheesy, just the right amount of syrup. Yep. This is the trifecta. This, the other song on this album, and Let's Put the X in Sex. And it's that fine line between these songs and Bang Bang You and fucking Read My Body. Okay?
Stop
this
mocking
works.
Bang Bang. I like Bang Bang You.
This works. This song has the quintessential Gene, and you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love that. The bass line.
Picks, he must do this a million times in sound, but that bass.
It's awesome. It's so good. I thought you were going to say in the middle of the song, he just goes, oh, yeah.
No, that's for later on. Yeah. It's in the middle of every time I look at you. So that bass line, I love the groovy Eric drumming. The only time I kind of laugh is he needs some perspiration.
Pew.
Who needs some perspiration?
Oh, settle down, Star Child.
Yeah. Wave your panties in the air.
Lick your lips and shake your hair.
Dude, you know what this reminds me? It reminds me of the episode we talked about, and I think it was the backyard barbecue.
Oh, yeah, it was. We talked about this song.
And we're talking about when you bring your neighbor over, Mrs. Johnson, the third grade fucking teacher that lives next door, and you're like playing this song. You're like, yeah, Mrs. Johnson.
Then all of a sudden, Mrs. Johnson starts waving her panties in the air.
Licking her lips and shake her hair. And then someone goes, ooh, when you spread a little oil. The fucking song.
Hey, it's 11:30. My mind's getting dirty.
Ooh, yeah, Mrs. Johnson, shake that fat ass.
Ooh. Oh, there's plenty of that and more.
Oh,
most definitely.
I like the repeat throughout the whole chorus. Throughout the whole song.
Yep.
It's just, there's little fucking brilliant lines in here that I think.
Oh, it's
little things like, I've got nothing to lose but my money and my mind. Like when the guy's literally, you know the type. We've all been to bachelor parties.
Oh, yeah.
We've all been to strip clubs before in our life. I have yet to do one. I'm sorry. I'm one of those guys. I don't know if you are, Tom. I will refuse to go to a strip club by myself. I refuse to be seen as the guy, lonely guy by himself. Here's $1.50.
The only time I've ever been to a strip joint is for a bachelor party.
Or buddies or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, Yeah, I mean, but I refuse to be that guy.
No.
And that's what this is, that fucking lonely fucking Shout It Out Loudcast fucking listener that we have a few of them that can't do without porn, that fucking go, yeah. Yes,
Look at you.
yes,
You ever
$2.
kiss a woman on the lips?
Yeah, they're like fall in love with these fucking strippers and they got nothing to lose but their money and their mind because they're fucking addicted to this shit.
Yep.
I love it. I love the Bruce fills before the solo. And the solo was fucking great. On the other hand, on this song, I love the Ezrin breakdown on this one. And that is because it's like
the lyrics.
I'm overanalyzing. It's
lyrics.
like you're in the fucking the sexual degenerate's brain.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, bring your body closer. I want to be, you want to be my fantasy.
I know you're dancing
like,
just for me.
Yeah. In the line that I always say, I used to always think it says, her panties say, and your pants say just for me.
Yeah.
It's just, and then all of a sudden, take it off. And the guitar is just playing.
The build up.
I fucking love that. I think that's fucking brilliant. And then Paul, yeah. And then they back, take it off. And then Bruce fucking ripping on the guitar at the end. Paul says that the song, he wanted to write a song for strip clubs. It is a great song for strip clubs. I think every strip club should be fucking playing this song.
Of course.
You know, I don't know whether that means like, you know, Motley Crue just did Girls. We can do something like that.
Pretty much.
A little bit too long ago.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Eric, I talked about earlier, Eric left because he was leaving for the Alice tour. So that's why Kevin Valentine jumped in. I love the Kiss Confidential version of this. I love that it's on a Live 3.
Yes.
On the European version.
Yeah. Oh, don't even get me going about how we get screwed out of this in the US version.
Of course. How many of you like looking at naked women? Ooh.
Not me, sir. I'm here for the music only. Thank you.
How many of you like looking at boobies?
Me. I like them.
It's so like, dude, projection. I don't know what it is, but like you're saying this way too much for a guy that gets laid as much as you do.
Yep.
You don't sound like somebody that does it. Act like you've been there before, son.
Pretty much.
Right.
Son.
And the, I talked about the Kiss Alive 3 different version. And then remember the video and all of a sudden the 3 girls come out.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
One of them's in white. She looks like Fook Me.
Yeah. Fook you. Fook me.
Your name is?
Fook Me.
Oh, behave, baby. Yes.
And at the end, there's one that's in red. She looks like Fat Elizabeth Shue. And then there's a hot one in a zebra outfit. Oh, that's the best.
Dude, Fat Elizabeth Shue. What's the problem with any of that right there?
She's a little chunky.
Well, you know,
she's a little bit fat in the ass there.
They're thinking of another song on this album
and then,
that we'll get to.
And in the video, in the concert footage, Paul like grabs Fook Me by the hair when she's dancing near to Gene.
Yeah.
Like, pulls her by her hair next to him. Could you imagine that happening now? Holy fucking, look how you're treating women. I can't believe somebody would do that to the woman in this day and age.
Yeah, you did it.
Yeah. Oh my God. He wouldn't get away with doing that to Fook Me now.
Oh God, no.
Oh, and the fucking girl in the zebra outfit.
Insane.
Smoke show.
Yep.
Smoke show. Anyways, let's take a Gene bass pick slide to the next track.
All right, so we got Tough Love. So this song tends to take a beating. Some people say it's a filler, a plotting song or whatever. So after listening to this, here's the problem with this song. The chorus is horrible. It's horrible. I think the song is okay. I think it's got a little bit of a gritty kind of riff and a groove to it. You know, it's more of a dramatic Paul song. But the chorus is just when they do the gang vocals of the tough love, like it's just wicked corny. It's just real cheesy kind of shit. And the song is another Ezrin breakdown that I don't really think fits the way that the one in Take It Off fits. It's kind of unnecessary. I mean, look, I'll just say this right now. I love the sound of this album in general, the production of it, the drums, the way the guitars and bass sound. So everything on this album I enjoy listening to, some more than others. Tough Love, I'm not going to try to convince you it's a great song, but I don't think it's as bad as some people when they bring up Revenge. It's just got a really, really, the chorus is so bad it makes it memorable to me.
Tough Love, written by Paul Stanley, Bruce Kulick, Bob Ezrin. Bruce plays bass on this track, Tom.
Yeah. Yep.
No Gene. I think it's a second-rate Heart of Chrome. If you listen to the beginning and you play, you're like, oh, it's the same song. Oh, no, it doesn't. Then it changes.
That's the problem with it.
Yeah. It's got a little bit of a love gun drum thing going on between the verses. The solo's decent. I like the outro Bruce does at the end. And Bruce did write the main riff of this song. It's just funny that when we had him on and we did the draft and like, oh, that song is brutal. And he was like, dude, I wrote that song.
Oh my God. I thought, sorry. Shit. Yeah.
Sorry, Bruce.
That was a little bit embarrassing.
So, Tom, a little bit of a sneak peek here. I mean, I fucking love all the tracks here. This is going to be one of those, something's going to be at the top, something's going to be in the bottom. Doesn't mean the bottom's bad. So it's just, for me on this is one of the weaker tracks.
Yep. Agreed.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Spit. Okay. Couple things to talk about here first. I'll start with the lyrics. Lyrically, this is why we listen to Kiss, okay? Lyrically, the song is fucking amazing. It's hilarious. It's stupid. It's funny. But musically, the fucking song absolutely kicks ass. If you stop listening to the lyrics and you stop talking about the bigger the cushion, the better the pushing and all that shit, musically, the song is awesome. You can tell by the sound of Gene that he is having a blast singing this. He's having a fun time singing this song. And it's got dual vocals with Paul. What is better than that? My God, when Paul jumps in, it's fucking amazing. Okay. Then you got Bruce jumping in there with a solo, throwing in the Star Spangled Banner. You're like, what the fuck is that? I don't know, but it's amazing. I love it. And then one of my favorite things, the little things that make a song memorable. As the song is wrapping up at the end, Gene just screams out, "Take it, Bruce." And Bruce just keeps noodling on like for an outro solo. I just think it's a really fun song. Lyrically, yes, it's ridiculous, but I think it's a deep cut that I think people get caught up in the most definitely. There's a lot more to this song than that.
Spit, written by Gene Simmons, Scott Van Zen, and Paul Stanley. I love guitar. Stop. Gene. Then music. Love that shit. Love the tapping by Eric in the background. Gene's scatting there.
I was gonna wait for you to get that when he's like,
he's gonna do David Lee Roth, Just the Gigolo.
Oh my God, the scat is hilarious.
And then the most famous thing that me and you talk about this song constantly: the bigger the cushion, the better the pushing.
Most definitely.
That was perfect. That was a real good deep one. I need to clip that, Tom, for in the future.
Okay.
Why does he do it that way? What?
And then I love when Paul just jumps in. I need big hips, sweet lips.
Dude, that is Gene stuff. We've all heard the legendary stories of Gene picking up fat chicks all the time.
But then you get the little things where Paul's jumping in. So like, because what you are is what you eat.
Oh,
just relax.
Yeah,
relax.
You ain't eating anything. I'm gonna eat your pussy. I'm gonna eat your vagina.
It's time for cunnilingus.
Connie who? Connie Lingus? Is there a Connie Lingus here?
By the way, that's a great point. That's a great time to thank everybody who tagged us in that school board meeting where the guy got pranked by all the friggin' the friggin'
The red
names.
guys fill my pockets.
Up next, Eileen Dover.
You want to speak to a man like pepperoni? Anyways, the whole Zepp influence, whole lot of love, whole lot of woman, Black Dog, Radar for Love. Like, let's be blunt here. Are we 14 years old? The bigger the cushion, the better the pushing.
It's so awesome.
How famous has that line been when we were growing up as kids?
Oh my God. Yeah. Before this album even existed, people knew that.
Oh my God. Of course they did. What you are is what you eat. Settle down, Stanley Eisen.
It's so funny. I love it. I love it.
You mentioned the Star Spangled Banner and the guitar solo, Tom. It's like so typical Ezrin shit. Then solo, that Ezrin breakdown, then the solo. Because there's a line in there that says, because meatless girls don't satisfy me. What?
That is such a great, that's what I'm saying. The lyrics carry it themselves, but music, the song, I love it. I love it.
The one thing you can say about Paul, and even though last week I played the clip about the rumors of Paul's sexuality, no, I don't think he's gay, but
no,
that Paul Stanley, ever seen him?
No.
No. Is that what he does?
Is that what he does? Paul Stanley.
You're doing that British accent. Ever seen him sucking up? You have to have your glasses real low, look half dead on the couch and go, oh, is that what he does? Is that what he does? Dude, if someone said to me, seriously, your partner Tom, have you ever seen him eat ass in a fucking men's fucking bathhouse?
No. Like, no.
Is that what he does? Man, how pissed would you be at me if I said, is that what he does? Not go, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Is that what he does? Oh my God. But anyways, the one thing I wanted to say about Paul Stanley, despite the fucking feminine manner he does stuff and the rumors and shit, he is not someone that has taste of what you would call heavy set women.
No,
he is always with beautiful, fit, thin women.
Always. Yep.
This is Gene's fucking delicacy.
Totally.
These are Gene lines, but hearing Paul talk about meatless girls, dude, Paul Stanley ain't picking up fat chicks.
No.
No. That's got Gene earmarked all over it.
Yep.
You'll take her. I'll take the hyena. What was that from? Shallow Hal?
Shallow Hal.
Goes,
yeah.
Oh, I got her. So you mean you got the fucking the giraffe and the hyena? That's fucking no way is that Paul. Anyways, the other part, you mentioned it that I fucking love. Take it, Bruce.
I love that.
Oh my God, do I love that.
Yep.
Gene says he don't mean spit. It's supposed to be like shit. A ripoff of a Fleetwood Mac song called Green Menalishi.
Mm-hmm.
Added lyrics from an old Gene song called
What? My uncle is a raft.
Mongoloid Man. That's on his fucking, what do you call it?
Box size vault. Yeah.
Mongoloid Man.
Dude, that word.
You know what clip I'm putting in is this.
Yeah.
My real passion is my hobby.
Really? What's that?
I work with retards.
Isn't that a little politically incorrect?
Oh, the hell with that. No one's going to tell me who I can and can't work with, right?
No, I mean...
We got this one kid, Mongo. He's got a forehead like a drive-in movie theater, but he's a good shit. So we don't bust his chops too much.
It's a good shit.
It's a good shit. So, you know.
We leave him alone.
Oh.
He's got a fucking forehead like a drive.
Oh God Almighty! We're gonna be here a while.
Mongoloid Man.
Oh.
I think that's what Peter Criss said about Ace when he first met him. That he thought he was like
he thought he was a mongoloid.
Yeah.
Now, is that what I am?
Mongoloid. Who fucking uses terminology like that?
Oh
my God. Mongoloid Man.
It's a song I wrote. Mongoloid man.
You can all sing along.
Next track.
Okay, so we're here with God Gave Rock and Roll to You 2 is the official name. So the song is from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, the sequel to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. It's a cover by Argent, who did the original. Kiss made it a little bit more famous and popular. Look, over the years, this song has grown on me. I'm not going to say that I like the song, but I think for me, I think I enjoy the song more thinking about Eric and the stories about Eric, about how badly he wanted to perform in the video, that he had to wear a wig because the poor soul was losing his hair from his cancer treatments. And, he played his ass off. So when I see stuff like that, it kind of makes me enjoy the song a little bit more. I have memories as a Kiss fan of going to the concerts. They play this as the lights come on and the crowd is kind of filtering out of the arena. So the song is okay. Paul gets a little carried away with the preaching at the end, and all that, but that's the song. It's okay. The video is pretty cool. Well, I'll wait for Zeus and then we'll talk about the video a little bit more in detail.
So, God Gave Rock and Roll to You 2. It's written by Russ Ballard, who's got so many great songs not sung by him. Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons, and Bob Ezrin. It went up to the U.S. mainstream rock charts to number 21, obviously on Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. And they did the old Wood, Big Empty, like soundtrack shit, throw it on the next album we do. Let's put it on there.
Yep.
And same like Dream Warriors, which we just discussed on our ARC Back for the Attack Dokken album.
Yep.
Paul says, no one knows what that Argent version is about. Let's keep the chorus and rewrite the lyrics.
Yep.
First single to feature co-leads since I.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah. Gene says it's not just a cover for a soundtrack, but a testament to Eric Carr. I think a lot of people don't realize that. Love the solo for Bruce in the beginning. Opening chorus, Gene and Paul, 2-song duet on this album, like The Elder. Bob Ezrin. Hint. Is that why? Right? You had
right.
I, Only You, other songs like Under the Rose. Nobody fucking comes up to the idea, hey, why don't you guys trade lyrics off like you did on Shout It Out Loud?
Yep.
Right? Did it really take Bob to sit there and go, fans would love that shit?
Yeah.
Here we have it again, where they do this. Typical Ezrin breakdown again. Paul recalls one of the best things we ever did, calls it. Best and worst of times. Best working with Bob again, and worst because of Eric. The talking part at the end. I know.
Oh, God, yeah.
Life can be rough. And then the only other thing I'll add is, like you, Tom, it has grown on me because, as you realize, that middle part, God gave rock and roll, in that soft part, that in the background, I always find myself now listening for the Eric part.
Me too.
To everyone, he gave a song to be sung. So when you hear that,
that's Eric.
It brings the thoughts of like, here's a dying man doing whatever he can to try to get his voice on there. It reminds me of a little, I'm not going to go on too much of a detour, of the Temptations and the guy in the band that was called Paul Williams. He was dying as well. And he got his voice on for one little part. If you remember, in Just My Imagination, there's a part where it's not Eddie Kendricks. It's like, every night on my hands, I pray. They just gave him that one line before he died. And that stayed with that song. It's like haunting. This part is like haunting to me, that this is Eric's last thing of the band. Obviously, Eric Singer played on this track, but he was part of the backing vocals and did that part. And then him, mustering up the courage, fuck this, I'm going to be in the video. And he plays his ass off. He learns the song and he goes nuts in the video. And that's really the last of it. And it's bittersweet, but I think of this song and I was explaining this to my daughter as literally today, driving her to school, this played. And I told her, and she's like, Dad, this is sad. Why are you telling me this before I go to school? I'm like, no, don't look at it as sad. Look at it as like the power of, rock and roll, that, God gave rock and roll to Eric and he gave that to everybody else. And it's a positive thing. It's not the negative. You're empowered by him and stuff. And you don't think of it in a sad way. It's not a sad, it's an uplifting song. And that's how I choose to listen to this. And because of that, although I would normally beat this song down because it's whatever, that Eric part of it makes me always kind of like, out of respect, I'm listening to this.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing that's even more haunting is that him doing those harmonies, but you also, I always come back to like the title of the song. He's not just singing, it's not, Heart of Chrome or Paralyzed or whatever. It's God gave rock and roll to you. And you have, the harmonies of a man who's sick and who is unfortunately going to pass away from the horrible disease that we know as cancer. And, as a Kiss fan and as a fan, as a music fan, as a human being, it is a sad song, like your daughter says, but if you try to look at it and enjoy it for what it is, it's Eric's memory is there forever with this song. And I think just those kinds of things make me appreciate it a little bit more, even if it's not a song I listen to all the time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, with that being said, let's move on to the next track. It's Just As Serious.
All right. So you get Domino, very catchy, killer groove. It's got the music's kind of, little laid back with Gene singing, then it kicks in. It's got a killer solo by Bruce. The song is okay. Again, the Gene is on full display on Revenge, and it's showing all sides of him. It's showing the demon. It's showing the playful side, the filthy side of him. Cool song. Really, when that bitch bends over, come on, Gene, fucking relax with that. But yeah, no, it's popular and it was a hit for a reason. It's a song that people know, and I've always been a fan of it.
Yeah. Domino, written by Gene Simmons alone. It's actually the third single, Tom.
Yep.
It made it to mainstream rock number 26. Gene plays rhythm guitar on it. So there's no real Paul playing on this song.
Mm-hmm.
It is that song Nasty Nasty by Black and Blue.
Oh yeah.
It's literally the rip off of that, which I think Gene produced that album.
Yeah.
Yep. Gene says he tried to copy Deuce, saying it was almost a rap. He demoed it with his Silent Rage, another Simmons record. We talked about them earlier. The demo is actually on the box set. And if you notice, the first lyrics of the song, besides "Let me tell you my story," those lyrics are reversed.
Yep.
On the actual box set demo. It sounds like a little Hot for Teacher in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Not an old enough to vote, Gene. It's one thing when you did that in the 70s. What are you doing that in the 90s about chicks? Now you're even fucking older.
What do you need a fake ID for? So I can vote.
The solo is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
And I love how he says it. They call me Domino.
Yeah. A domino. So
Domino?
Domino, motherfucker.
Did you just go so fine?
So fine.
Most definitely.
Now can we talk about the ridiculous video?
Well, the other line is in there is famous as when that bitch bends over. He ain't saying that shit now.
No, he ain't.
Yeah. And he admits the song sounds very ZZ Top-ish.
Yeah.
Let's get to the video.
Well, again, in Greg Prado's book, Take It Off, Kiss Truly Unmasked, the video director not happy with this video. He was trying to figure out what he wanted to do with the song, if it was telling a story and what that story was. So the video has a mix of the band playing like on a little sound stage, and then of course the famous thing of Gene cruising around in a car, with his little drink, checking out the lady getting gas and all this stuff. It's a fun video. And It's funny because when I'm watching the video, Paul looks extremely bored during this video. Like that caught my eye. It's like he's kind of like half-assing it. Like he knows the video isn't great, or he knows that it's a Gene song that people are going to gravitate to. And he's like, I guess I'll be here. But that kind of caught my eye. Like, I don't know, maybe it was just a crooked man face that was kind of turning me off. But it's a fun video. Gene looks all right. He's having a good time.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Gene is driving around. The band's playing without him.
Yep.
Gene gets pulled over by a cop for a minute. Gene's playing, Paul is playing rhythm guitar in this in the beginning of the video. And then all of a sudden he's got Gene's fucking Punisher bass.
Yep.
Which is the strangest thing I've ever seen. Paul playing bass in this. Gene sees a young girl and smiles. Then her parent looks his way. Gene with the shake in his hand. Then they show him going through the drive-thru afterwards.
Yeah.
And then a homeless guy is washing his window. He sniffs his bag when he gets the food. What the fuck was that?
Oh my
Like,
God.
looks at it. Did you spit in this?
Spit.
Excuse me. He knocks on the fucking drive-thru window. I asked for 2.5 ketchup packages in this. Those are missing. Where are my sanitized wrap napkins supposed to? I don't see them in here.
Yep.
Imagine what a nightmare it must be to have Gene go through a drive-thru.
No. Pain in the ass.
You. Fry later, man. My fries seemed undercooked.
More salt, please.
And then the video actually shows him mouthing, do it.
Yes.
Which is very unnoticeable if you're listening to the track. You don't pick up on it as much.
Yeah, you notice it more.
Makes you like, oh.
Yep.
And then Gene gets gas and sees the chicks and smiles and scares her. And then, some of the words change in the video when that girl bends over.
Oh, yeah.
And got to have it all instead of got me by the balls.
Mm-hmm.
Little subtleties change. Paul looks weird. He looks like one of those members from fucking like Skid Row or Faster Pussycats. The way his hair is done. Yeah, he looks like a sleazy, fucking like little short fucking guitar player like those guys.
Yep.
And those Skid Row / fucking Faster Pussycat guys. But overall, the fucking video is ridiculous. How Rockstar isn't showing a guy going to drive-through drinking a shake
and getting gas
and trying to pick up underage chicks.
Not good.
This is what the fans think a rock star is.
I love that the video director was like, yeah, this video's not good.
Can you imagine at the time, like, hold on, Pearl Jam, Eddie Vedder sitting down, hanging out with fucking Chris Cornell and Kurt Cobain. Yeah, maybe our video's coming up. Hold on. Hey, this is Kiss. What the fuck is this?
Well, you don't want to see a rock star go through the drive-thru and get a shake, or do it in reverse order. See him with the shake, then see him at the drive-thru.
And picking up 16-year-old girls? Yeah.
Maybe not.
Anyway, let's go to the next track.
All right, Heart of Chrome. People talk about this kind of in the same vein as Tough Love. They give this one much more credit because it's a better song, which it is. Cool groove, cool riff. The chorus is kind of interesting here because you got the gang vocals kind of carrying, you got a Heart of Chrome, and then you got Paul being like squealing and screaming, saying his own stuff, while you got the gang vocals carrying the main focal point of the chorus, which I think is kind of interesting. I think it kind of makes it unique and different. I love listening to jilted, fucked over Paul. Like, you don't hear that ever in a Kiss song, So that's kind of an interesting take. It's a downer of a song. It's definitely not the upbeat song, but there's a couple on here on this album. It kind of gives you a little bit of everything. So the song is okay. It's not exactly what I want to hear from Paul. But it's okay. It's got another Ezrin breakdown that I think this breakdown is not good. But the song is okay. Again, Bruce carrying it with another unbelievable solo, but this is another song that's okay for me, but it's still Kiss on Revenge. So I'm going to listen to it.
Heart of Chrome, written by Paul Stanley, Vinnie Vincent, Bob Ezrin. Opening similar to Tough Love. The lyrics on this are fucking awesome.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
They're clever.
Yeah.
It's Kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Since you screwed me, you've been on my mind. The chorus is extremely complex.
It really is.
All sorts of moving parts.
Yep.
I looked at the lyrics just to, familiarize myself again with the whole song and everything. There's so much of it I never picked up on.
Yep.
And when I hear that chorus over again, you guys look at the chorus, read the lyrics, and reach what everybody's saying in it.
What everybody's saying.
It's very complex. Different people are singing different parts. The lyrics are all over the place, but they all make sense.
Yep.
Paul's "yeah" when he does it, yeah,
so good.
That is the fucking commercial. Remember, I think it was Murph that pointed it out to us. That fucking, I think it was a truck commercial, and Paul's over.
Yep.
He'd go, yeah.
Yep.
And I think it was Murph that showed us, right?
I think it was. That sounds right.
That's the famous Paul. Yeah. Typical Ezrin after the solo again, the bridge. You get that love gun drum again. I like I said, I love the fucking lyrics on him, on this. Bruce says they were working on a song called Chrome Heart, him and Gene. And then all of a sudden Paul comes in with, here's a song I'm doing called Heart of Chrome. The stakes were higher. We were more brutal with each other. Gloves were off. Paul says the title came from a Gene Steinman song called Chrome Heart and has Bob Ezrin stamp all over it. I find this funny because where they're talking about this, Bruce is basically saying, yeah, me and Gene were working on this. And then Paul comes in and says, fuck you, I've got a song called this. Yeah. And then Paul says, yeah, the song title didn't come from them. It came from this.
Yeah.
Like he's like cutting them off, telling them like, oh, no, that's bullshit. I didn't do that. Vinnie says he left during the finalized writing portion of it. And the song could have come out a lot better. Dude, what the fuck?
He might be right.
Oh, he's definitely wrong. This song
kicks
ass.
The one thing I will say about this song, it is Bob Ezrin in a nutshell. It with that breakdown, that really complex chorus with the layered vocals, with Paul doing one thing, the gang vocals doing another. Very, very heavily produced Bob Ezrin in a good way. That being said, I still think the song is very average. There's a lot going on, but I just think the song is okay. From a melody rock standpoint, the song is okay.
First of all, it also has that other great fucking line. You taped our sexy conversation and you sold that to the BBC. We know our buddy Jericho loves that. Hence, Quarantine's version of this.
Awesome.
Which Jericho redoes basically the domino video. Right?
Yep.
So let's tie those two together right now. I think Chris and the gang at Quarantine did a fucking awesome job on this. I love the fucking chorus on this. Hey baby, I got an angry soul. I got a broken home. And then Paul's in the middle of it. It says, I'm going to stick it in your heart of chrome. I didn't realize that part. He says
I remember that
twice in there. Yep. And then, I got no self-control. You got a heart of chrome. Yeah, sugar. Now you're going to see that since you messed with me, you'll pay eternally for your heart of chrome. Dude, that fucking shit rocks. The chorus is just, Paul and Bob, man. Love it. Love it. Let's go to the next track.
Oh, man. Thou Shalt Not. I put this up here in my all-time underrated, underappreciated Gene songs. One of the most kick-ass, heavy, metalish grooves on this entire album of any Kiss song I've ever heard. The groove being laid down here by Eric and Bruce is fucking insane. Gene sounds amazing. The verses are amazing, and I love that gang chorus there. It's just fucking phenomenal. Great, another great evil sounding solo by Bruce. It's so great. But I love this line from Gene. Oh my God. Talk about things that don't age well. Once I had the song title, the song wrote itself. I've always had a very combative view of holier than thou figures, whether they're political or religious. Priests always shake their finger in your face. and say you shouldn't do this or that, my first question is, who died and made you king? So the notion of this priest hypothetically talking to me, mister, you could kindly kiss my ass. It's a middle finger gesture to somebody who thinks that he is my judge and jury. You mean like your Twitter page in 2021, Gene? That finger waving, that kind of shit that you shouldn't do with it? That? That's all I'll say about that. But otherwise, the song absolutely fucking rips. If it wasn't for another song on this album, this would by far be Gene's standout track. I have always loved this song. And I think the reason why I love it even more is that I never hear it. It's nowhere else but Revenge. And they never play it live, and they never will, obviously. Love it.
Thou Shalt Not, written by Gene Simmons and Jesse Damon, the guy from Silent Rage, Simmons Records. It's funny. I think we're going to reverse how we feel about this song versus the previous song.
Okay.
I think we're on opposite ends here.
Go ahead.
I love the lead guitar in the beginning by Bruce. Gene with the, of course, boom slide.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a awesome, catchy chorus.
Yep.
Gene, it's biblical Gene again, the salesman.
Oh, yeah.
The second verse, you ain't the son of God. And if you are, would you be interested in purchasing these rosary beads in the image of the Ankh warrior? You can buy 2 for $5. Just fucking Gene, always like biblical Gene. Also the ending chorus, I'm gonna live my life again.
Yep.
Harkens back to Trial by Fire.
Yes.
Right?
That's right. Yep. Good call back there.
I love the solo coming in after the bridge. Great solo by Bruce. Gene Simmons, he wrote it with Mark Damon. I'm like, isn't that Jesse Damon, or is a fucking guy go by? Who fucked up? Either, I don't know, Wikipedia, the album, or Gene, who says that in a book, who doesn't know what the guy's name is. Like Humble Pies, I Don't Need a Doctor, or Montrose song, Rock Candy. That's what he was looking for. He says a friend told him that he saw a girl group band named Thou Shalt Not that sucked.
But
that's a great band name and might make a great song title as well. Dude, who is that poor band that forever in history tried to make it? The only relevance they have is that Gene Simmons says, yeah, my friend saw a band called that sucked.
They sucked. And now you're in a book saying that said that you sucked.
And then that little funky little thing at the end, Gene says at the end song, you got that right.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That's Thou Shalt Not. Let's slow it down, grab our lighters, go to the next track.
Every Time I Look at You. Some people say that Paul was trying too hard for this, that, he's trying to capture the magic of Forever. And yeah, why not? What's the problem with that? Forever was a massive hit. I think this should have been a massive hit. I think the song is amazing. I think it's a beautifully written song. It's a power ballad. They are supposed to be corny and cheesy. I think it's an amazing song. This was very, 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 very close to being my wedding song. But there were a couple lyrical issues in there, such as it's going to take a little time to show you just what you mean to me. Not exactly what you want during a wedding song.
That's the part. The part would be like the guy's apologizing constantly.
Well, that too. Well,
I figure your in-laws are like, the fuck is she marrying him for? What did he do?
That too. There's a whole bunch of things, but the chorus itself, every time I look at you, no matter what I'm going through, it's easy to see, it's a beautiful song. I think it's got another really nice solo in it. It just didn't take off the way I think they had hoped, because it was 1992 into 93 and songs like this didn't really exist. I think it's a really underrated ballad. I think Paul sounds fantastic. And I think it's a great song. I think it's a really standout ballad, and unfortunately it kind of gets buried.
Every Time I Look at You, written by Paul Stanley and Bob Ezrin. Here we go again. Bob Ezrin's here. Dick Wagner can come in and play the solo.
Yep.
Why?
Yep.
Bruce isn't fucking the guy that sit home. I'm playing a game of cards. I can't fucking make it. Come on, dude.
I agree.
and I'll get to a part. Okay. It was actually the 5th single. It didn't chart. And Bob did the string and horn arrangement. I like the little acoustic guitar in the beginning, a little Maggie May-ish. I like the solo. It's pretty good. It's electric though. Unlike Forever's.
Forever.
And I think this tried to be in too much Forever Part 2. And that's why it takes a hit, I think. Paul says it's the right song at the wrong time, or the right song by the wrong band. Dick Wagner says Bruce tried to play on it, but didn't come up with anything that was good enough or more appropriate.
Dick Wagner, fuck off. Okay. Give me a break. Who the fuck are you shitting on Bruce trying to say that he didn't come up with anything that was good enough? Really? This is the guy that played the fucking one of the greatest solos ever on Forever. Stop.
Yeah. The video. Settle down, Paul Stubble.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Relax.
I don't remember this video, Tom, because it never made it to Extreme Close-Up.
Nope.
And I didn't, at that time we were at college, we didn't have cable.
I totally forgot there was a video for this song.
Yeah.
I totally did. Yeah, I agree.
But I Bruce is playing the fucking Angus Gibson, then the big BB King guitar.
Yep.
I can't see who's on the piano. It's like a fucking image you don't see.
No.
This is all serious. There's an orchestra.
Oh, yeah.
You can tell since it's the 5th single and we're getting into 92, 93. All of a sudden it's like very grungy, very, he's serious.
Serious face, like you said, the stubble. Yeah.
Settle down.
Settle down. You're singing every time I look at you.
The song, Paul, it's one of those, Paul, I know what you're doing. You're trying to make it a hit.
He is.
Yep. He throws that on Unplugged. When you think of the songs that are on Unplugged, you're like, what the fuck is that song doing there?
I like it though. I like it. I always have.
I don't think it doesn't add anything to the original track.
But like you always say, it's Paul's way of pushing a song that he liked that no one else liked.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Like it didn't make it. Well, fuck it. Maybe we can make it a single from this.
Yeah. Right.
Like, it didn't do it, dude. Fucking move on.
Yep.
You could have put so many other songs in, but it's still a very good song.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's go next.
Paralyzed. Another underrated deep cut on this song. I love how it opens up with like a little mini solo. Gene's vocals sound fucking amazing in this. I don't know what's going on there with his vocals, but I love it. The music in this song, I kind of said the same thing about Spit. The music, it's like it's got that funk rhythm to it. It kind of breaks down when Gene is singing. I think this is a really underrated song. It's got the breakdown that we're going to talk about, minus the rap that Bruce played for us. We're going to reference again to our 100th episode with Bruce when he played the rap that was supposed to be part of this song. Kind of like if you're a Rush fan, talk about the song Roll the Bones.
It's brutal.
It's not a good song. It's not a good
brutal.
Song. It's not.
Roll the Bones.
It's not a good song.
Roll the Bones.
But Paralyzed, I've always liked this song. Again, the production on this album and the way everyone sounds makes every song listenable and enjoyable for me. And I think another reason I like Paralyzed, like Thou Shalt Not or Spit, these are songs that you never hear anywhere. They're not overplayed. They're not beaten into the ground. But I think Gene sounds great. I think it's a unique song. I think Eric is playing his ass off on this one. Very cool.
Paralyzed, written by Gene and Bob Ezrin. Love the fucking chorus. This is what you would call a deep cut.
Yes.
This is a deep cut. And I think this is a great deep cut.
Yep.
The repeat of it, it's all right.
Yep.
Yes, it's all right. I love that. I love when songs do that. The repeated theme of the repeated word after every fucking lyric or so. It's almost an Alice in Chains type song.
Yeah, I can see that.
For me, I feel like it's very grungy.
Totally.
The lyrics and stuff. He mumbles something not so bad in the rap version.
Yes.
That I don't know what he's fucking babbling about there in the middle, and nor do I really care. I am interested in what Bruce, played for us, which was fucking awesome that he had that ready for us when we talked about this song. And
unbelievable.
It was so like spontaneous. That was awesome. You guys really should listen to that 100th episode when we had Bruce on.
Oh yeah.
Fucking fantastic.
Yep.
And then, the solo comes in. It's a lot of fun. That chorus keeps repeating itself, but it's fucking great. Gene says, Bob and I wrote that together. Most of it was mine. Then he says this, and cringe if you want.
I know.
Bob brought down a black rapper to rap on it. Why does the guy have to be black?
I know. Why can't you just say rapper, Gene? The fuck, dude?
It never worked out. We're like, yeah, but Bruce played it for us.
Yep. And you're right. You can hear, I played this with earbuds on. And I'm like, I can hear a couple of words. Like I want to be able to hear, because there's still some kind of weird, like tuned, like auto-tuned lyrics or something going on under there during the breakdown. But I don't know exactly what it is. Can't really understand it, but very cool tune.
Yeah, absolutely. Great deep cut.
Yep.
Let's move on to the next one.
All right. You got I Just Wanna. One of the all-time standout tracks from Paul. What an unbelievable, catchy, hooky, melodic Paul song. I mean, it's got that iconic chorus, I just want to I just want to I just want to forget you. But an opening lyric that you just can't be beat. I mean, we did an episode on best opening lyrics. This was right up there. Just a fantastic song. Again, my problem, another breakdown. This one's bad. To me, this breakdown is bad. And again, referencing Greg Prato's book, the video director said that because the song was a little poppier, a little bit more upbeat for Paul, they wanted something to pop out on the screen. So they gave him that white void background so that everything kind of comes out. You were like really full and bright against the white. Great song. Just a really timeless song. I think Paul is just super clever on this. And the song just rips. Just if you're a Kiss fan, you gotta love I Just Wanna.
I Just Wanna, written by Paul Stanley and Vinnie Vincent.
Yep.
I guess Tommy's a background singer on this song. The song made it to number 34 in the U.S. mainstream charts. Paul opening up vocally, black doggish.
Totally.
And he's totally ripping off the Gene line. Make someone an offer too big to refuse.
Mm-hmm.
How many times have we heard Gene say that?
Oh, yeah.
The chorus is just clever. Him writing with Vinny, it's just clever. The Eric drum fills in between Baby is fucking so awesome. The solo is cool. The Ezrin breakdown, no. This one, I'd still love the song, and it overcomes it. It's not very good, but I love the breakdown where it's Paul's voice with Eric.
Yeah.
I don't want to romance. And it's just him and Eric playing the drums.
That's cool.
I don't want to dance or a second chance. I love that. Paul says it's something like similar to Summertime Blues. I always think Summertime Blues, that he talks about the different versions. It's Eddie Cochran's Summertime Blues. That's the fucking original. If you really want to hear like early, real cool rock and roll, Eddie Cochran doing Summertime Blues is fucking insane. Or Black Dog, he says. Or again, Fleetwood Mac's Green Manalishi. I thought that's what Spit was supposed to sound like, because Spit doesn't sound like I Just Wanna.
Nope.
The other thing about this, and I think Bruce talks about this in episode 100, is the slide guitar in the solo.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I am a sucker for a slide guitar. I fucking love it. Hence, that's why I love the Eagles. And when we saw them last weekend, Joe Walsh, two things I love, the talk box and a slide guitar. Fucking going nuts with both of them. I was like, holy shit, there's nothing cooler than somebody can rock those both. I love the slide guitar. Great job by Bruce there. The video, like you said, Tom, it's the complete opposite of Unholy. It's now white. It's fun and cool. Hairy chest Paul.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought Paul looks cool in this.
He does.
Gene with his 1-inch side kick that he can't lift. Dude, Stop trying to do calisthenics. David Lee Roth, you are not Gene.
Not happening.
Yeah,
Nope.
your kicks aren't making it, buddy.
Nope.
And the worst is there's that section where their hair is blown in the wind and it's Paul and Gene together.
Yeah.
That is not a flattering look for a fat Gene in the 90s.
It is kind of a least metal moment, we'll say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks chunky Gene and the hair blowing like,
ooh, not good.
Yeah. That is not an appealing look for people.
No.
But I do like in this some little things that happen in videos once in a while I love and I see it is when the Bruce solo comes up, Gene sticks up his thumb and points.
Oh, I love that stuff.
Almost like a hitchhiker fucking gesture. Like, take a look at this guy behind us and fucking Bruce is out in front. Oh, that is so fucking cool. And then that's when you start noticing the slide guitar. I'm like, oh shit, that is a slide guitar in the solo of this.
Mm-hmm.
Typical bridge imagery in the video, and this Gene close up in his mouth. I'm like, oh,
it's not good.
You can smell the Big Mac breath from here.
You, that domino shake stinks.
he still got the fucking chocolate fucking Sonic milkshake breath going. Yeah, and then it's a great, fun, uplifting video. You know what makes this video even more fun and uplifting and nostalgia for me? It's the end of Extreme Close Up.
Bingo. Yep, you said it. That's right.
Right? That's what I think of when I see this. I think that's when the credits start rolling and everything. And that's hence why I don't remember every time I look at you.
Yeah, that's true too. You're right.
So anyway,
we got Car Jam 1981, the instrumental they threw in here as a little tribute to Eric. A lot of people are familiar with this from Ace on his solo record with the song Breakout. Same music. Bruce came in and kind of overdid some of the guitars and stuff on it. I like instrumentals. I like this one even more because it is a tribute to the memory of Eric. I think it's got a really kick-ass groove and a vibe to it. I mean, it's cool that Ace turned it into a song, that he turned it into a song with lyrics, but I like that it's on here. I respect the band for putting this on there for them. So good on them, and God bless Eric.
Car Jam 1981, written by Eric Carr. Now, Ace took that riff and he played with Eric Carr, fucking around with it.
Yep.
He took it, put it on Fraley's Comet for a song called Breakout, which he now credits himself as a song lyric, Eric Carr, and Richie Scarlett. But Todd Howard sings the song. It's not even Ace that sings it. So I don't know if you remember that from Fraley's Comet.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
The guitar is awesome in the beginning. Bruce, does his best on it, but I don't like fucking instrumentals. I don't like this one. Yep. I shouldn't say I don't like it. I can tolerate it. It's not bad, but I don't need an instrumental yet. I want it on this fucking album. I want it as people, because there are certain drum people and things like that, but people will appreciate that. And I may not feel this way, but you might feel differently and want to hear it. So leave it on the album. And also, I like the touch. Let's give Eric, not forgotten. You're a legend. You're part of this album. So Eric Carr is part of one of the greatest Kiss albums of all time.
Exactly.
Still.
Exactly.
Right? Yep. So that's how I see it.
I agree.
Yeah. So that's Car Jam 1981. And those are the tracks from Revenge.
Yep.
Wrap up thoughts?
Yeah. Look, this is, to me, when I think of production and sonically speaking, to me, this is my favorite sounding Kiss album. This is what I want in a hard rock, borderline metal album to sound. Okay. I don't want it to sound like Creatures of the Night. I don't want big, gigantic, bombastic reverb on my drums. I don't want that. I want this crisp, tight, punchy bass drums, punchy snare, awesome distorted guitars, normal sounding vocals and bass. The production on this, Bob Ezrin hits it out of the fucking park. For anything you want to say about him for what he did on Elder, you got to say the exact opposite for what he did on Revenge. It sounds fucking fantastic. I think this album checks off all the boxes for what we love about Kiss. It's got the Demon. Then it's got Dirty Gene. It's got Emotional Paul with Every Time I Look at You and Heart of Chrome and Tough Love. Then it's got Dirty Paul with Take It Off and I Just Wanna. The album gives you everything that you want. I know that I hear people out there saying, oh, Revenge is a little bit overrated. And I think they're focusing on some of the songs that aren't hits to call this album overrated. But if you haven't heard Revenge in a while, I tell you got to go back and listen to it.
So for me, Tom, this album is very nostalgic for me. I tend to sometimes wonder myself, am I overrating this? Am I underrating this? Which one is it? When I think about this album, I don't think like that there's anything really skippable on it.
Nope.
And there are skippable songs that come on when I listen to a Kiss album. Like,
absolutely.
I don't want to fucking hear this. There's nothing on here. Nope. So when we go through these tracks, you know how I feel about instrumentals. But let's say song 11. Song 11 may be song 6 or 7 somewhere else.
Yep.
I can tell you song 7 or 8, maybe song 2 or 3 on other albums.
Right.
That's how highly I think of this album. I think this is Kiss at its pinnacle during the non-makeup era. I'm not well, maybe not. We still have another one that might compete with this. I shouldn't show my hand yet.
Yep.
But I think at this point, they were getting better. I wish they would continue in this line.
Me too.
Hard rock / metal, fun, catchy choruses, demon-like lyrics, fun lyrics, a ballad here and there. You're right. Cross off a lot of boxes on this album. And bring a guy like Bob Ezrin in to say, fuck you, Paul and Gene. You're not fucking producing this. Stop taking the cheap way out and putting your shitty production on Hot in the Shade and having you guys produce it. Take the money out of your fucking pockets and put it into the product and have a guy like Ezrin come in.
Yep.
Or bring in fucking Eddie Kramer back. Or bring Michael James Jackson. Somebody that gave you a different. And that's the thing. Those 3 guys, I think those producers do something for you. They give you something.
Mm-hmm.
There's not one other album that's not produced by those guys that I'm like, oh yeah, the production on that.
Right.
Right? Because they're all fucking like, oh, Paul did the production on this one. Oh, fucking
Sonic Boom.
Yeah.
Monster.
No, we don't need that shit. Let's get back to the fucking basics. Give somebody else control, but they know you. Not this Ron Nevison shit.
Yep. I agree.
Bruce Fairbairn, fuck that.
Big thing, but like you said, the big thing, I wish this lineup continued. I just wish this fucking lineup kept going.
We do get one album more, but they went a little experimental on that, and we'll get to that one too.
Yep.
But overall, so pumped that we got to Revenge.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes the extremely difficult part, ranking this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go first or should I?
You can go. You go first this time.
All right. 12 tracks. Number 12 for me, easiest one to fit in. Carr Jam, 1981.
Yeah, me too. Just because it's an instrumental. Yep.
Song 11, second easiest pick did you put here? Tough Love.
11 for me is God Gave Rock and Roll to You.
Really?
Yes.
I know there's a lot of fatigue with that song.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 10 for me, Spit.
There's going to be a lot of differing on this one. Number 10 for me is Tough Love.
Not really, Tom, because number 9 for me is God Gave Rock and Roll.
Okay. Number 9 for me is Every Time I Look at You. I like it, but it's a ballad.
I'm telling you, we're not that far apart. Number 8 for me, Every Time I Look at You.
Okay. This is where we're going to differ. Number 8 for me is Heart of Chrome.
Oh,
yeah.
I think Jericho's going to put you in a headlock. Number 7 for me, Tom. Thou Shall Not.
Ouch. 7 for me, Domino.
What do they call him?
Domino.
They call her Domino. Number 6 for me, Domino.
Wow. Number 6 for me, Spit.
Almost, I like all our songs are almost there, just a little bit different order.
Yep.
Number 5 for me, Paralyzed.
Wow. That's my number 5.
A lot higher than probably anybody else would expect. I think
agree.
That's such a fucking great deep cut.
Absolutely. Yep.
Number 4 for me, Heart of Chrome.
Number 4 for me, I Just Wanna.
Oh.
Yeah. My top 4 were easy locked in place.
Tom, sorry, buddy. Number 3 for me,
Unholy.
Oh, I'm not surprised. I know what your 1 and 2 are. Number 3 for me, this is going to upset you. It's got to go somewhere. Take it off.
No, I get it. You're the Gene guy from this album.
Exactly.
I get it. And that's still high. Number 2, I Just Wanna.
Yep. 2 for me, Thou Shall Not.
I know that's one of your favorite deep cuts, man.
Yep.
Number 1 for me, not even close. Take It Off.
I knew that.
One of my favorite. Dude, I just get a smile on my face just saying to you and looking at you and saying, wave your panties in the air.
You know,
lick your lips and shake your hair.
You know, my wife has been to a couple Kiss shows with me. She knows that I'm a Kiss idiot. She knows that me and Zeus both are. I played Take It Off for her, and she was just like, "What is Paul doing right now? Like, what is he doing? Like lick your lips and shake your hair." Like,
yeah, Mrs. Johnson.
Yeah.
Woo!
Oh God, I love it. Yep. Unholy number 1 for me. So Take It Off number 1 for you. No surprises there. Now here comes the good stuff.
Unholy. You like that song, Tom?
Do you like Unholy?
Well, tell us a little bit about why it's number 1 for you.
Why it's number 1 for me?
I want to hear the superlatives. I assume you have this is one of your favorite songs of all time.
Okay, we've never discussed this before, but I'll just discuss it right now. We haven't talked about Kiss Mount Rushmores at all.
We do sometime.
Okay.
Because we never want to give away. We want people to kind of go along a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
But let's just say that Unholy would be competing for a spot on the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
which, if you know anything about the United States, there's only 4 heads on Mount Rushmore. Just for you people out there that don't know or that are from a foreign country and aren't familiar with Mount Rushmore. It's a saying that we use for the 4 best things. So this would be competing for it. To me, the best Gene song. It's one of the greatest riffs ever, not just for Kiss, but in hard rock, that era. Everything about it is just the solo. It's menacing. It's Gene. I just can't get enough of it. That riff is just unbelievable. Oh, just amazing. Great song.
All right. So, Tom, when we rank these, we're now going to rank this against the other albums that we have reviewed so far. So we've done 13 albums before this, Tom. This is the 14th. These are the albums we've reviewed so far.
Mm-hmm.
Kiss, Dress to Kill, Rock and Roll Over, Ace Frehley, Gene Simmons
from Kiss,
Paul Stanley, Paul Stanley. Now we have to say it like that. Paul Stanley.
Paul Stanley.
Ever seen him? Unmasked, Creatures of the Night, Animalize, Asylum, Hot in the Shade, Revenge, Psycho Circus, Monster.
Yes.
So the first thing we're going to rank is album covers.
Yep.
Tom, do you have your list?
I do. Yep. All right. So covers, I got Rock and Roll Over number 1, Creatures of the Night, Gene Simmons, Ace Frehley, Dress to Kill, Kiss, Paul Stanley, Unmasked, Psycho Circus, Hot in the Shade, Asylum, Monster, Animalize. As much as I love Revenge, and
this is album cover.
Yes, yep. As much as I love Revenge, the album cover is a little for me.
Lackluster.
Yeah. And it really can't compete with some of the art that's on a lot of these albums. So again, we're talking cover only. I am going to put it behind Hot in the Shade and put this at number 11 for me. Because I like Leon with the sunglasses on Hot in the Shade.
Okay.
So I got it number 11 for me.
All right. My order is this for album covers. Number 1, Rock and Roll Over. Then Gene Simmons, Dress to Kill, Creatures of the Night, Ace Frehley, Kiss, Paul Stanley, Asylum, Monster, Psycho Circus, Unmasked, Hot in the Shade, Animalize last. I am putting this album at number 10, just under Monster, because Monster still has Make Up Kiss.
Yep.
I think Asylum with the four faces and the colors of the members' colors, even though it's not Peter and Ace. I love that. And it's so 80s. I'll put this on there because it's kind of like their, I don't know what to say, in through the outdoor.
Okay.
Here's a fucking brown bag shit, whatever. Yep. Like here's just Kiss on thing. And Psycho Circus sucks. Unmasked sucks. Hot in the Shade sucks. And Animalized sucks.
Okay.
For covers.
Yep. All right.
So Revenge is my number 10. Let's go to the hardest thing. I'm telling you, I can't think of a harder album to fucking fit in here on our list. Now, do you want to read your list? This is overall album. Go ahead, Tom. Read your list.
All right. I got number 1, Dress to Kill. Number 2, Kiss. Rock and Roll Over. Paul Stanley. Unmasked. Hot in the Shade. Asylum. Ace Frehley. Creatures of the Night. Gene Simmons. Animalize. Psycho Circus. Monster. I went back and forth on this for a while because I needed to determine how high Revenge was going to go. Revenge. Oh boy, I can't wait to see what people think of this because I know what people think of this album and I know what people think of some of these other albums that are on our list. Revenge is going number 2 for me behind Dress to Kill.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Wow. That's a big decision.
That's a big decision.
Yeah.
Number 2 behind Dress to Kill. Yep.
Tom, I'm still thinking this as we're talking right now. I'm still
and while you're thinking, I'll just give a little bit of explanation here. So I loved the Kiss debut album. Okay. But it's got Kiss in Time. It's got Love Theme from Kiss. I know it still has Deuce and Strutter and Black Diamond. That was the really big struggle for me. Rock and Roll Over, to me, I love the sound of Rock and Roll Over. But there's a lot of songs on there that I could do without. I Want You, Making Love, Hard Luck Woman. Some of the songs are okay. The album sounds spectacular, and of course, it's classic and iconic. Putting Revenge above the Kiss debut album, that was a little tricky for me, but Revenge, it just pushed it up. It's not going to knock out Dress to Kill, but Revenge at 2 for me. So what do you got?
All right, Tom. So my album's ranking, I have Rock and Roll Over number 1, Creatures of the Night, Kiss, Paul Stanley, Dress to Kill, Hot in the Shade, Ace Frehley, Asylum, Animalize, Psycho Circus, Gene Simmons
from Kiss,
Unmasked, and Monster. Tom, I'm still thinking about where I'm putting this fucking goddamn album.
Okay, good. While you're thinking, I just have a very important question. What's the impersonation of Peter Criss going to be when we do his solo album? Because we got one for the other 3 guys. So I'm trying to think of what we're going to do for Peter.
Fuck old Peter Criss. I don't know. We'll think of something for poor Peter.
All right. So go ahead. Hurry up and make your fucking decision. Jump in.
Fuck off. I can tell you right now.
Just make it number 1.
Yeah. It's top 5.
Thank God.
I'm just debating whether I put it there. I can't. So I'm going to go number 4.
Wow.
So it's below Kiss debut. It's above Paul Stanley. I got
to be honest with you. I am pleasantly surprised. I did not know where you were going to put this album. I knew it would be pretty high, but nice.
It's a full album. It's a full awesome album.
There's no skippers on it.
The problem is, like, I love Take It Off. I Just Want to Unholy. Like, do I love those songs more than Nothing to Lose, Firehouse, Black Diamond? Those best 3 against that best 3, I'm taking Kiss.
See, and you bring up the point that I struggled with, is that can I really sit here and say that Revenge is better than the Kiss debut album? For me, we always say this, even when we do the ARC episodes, there's a lot of fatigue with Kiss, and some of the best versions of those, and some of the best versions of those songs are on Alive. But you're right. It is tough. People are going to be like, how the fuck you put Revenge above an album that has Black Diamond, Strutter, Deuce, Firehouse, Nothing to Lose? I understand what you're saying. But again, ranking Kiss albums this high, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's like ranking like your children or what. Like they're like 1, 1A, 1B. You know,
I'll take Black Diamond over Take It Off. I will take Nothing to Lose over I Just Wanna. I will take Deuce over Unholy, and I'll take Firehouse over Heart of Chrome. That's why I came up with it.
There you go.
And I actually like Kissing Time because all 4 members sing it. Love Theme from Kiss is a fucking stupid instrumental. Well, Car Jam is not stupid, but it is instrumental.
I got you.
So where am I really throwing away? I like Let Me Know. Cold Gin is overplayed, but it's still a good, fun song. 100,000 Years, thank God it's not live, is still a good, fun song. Like, it's hard to beat that. But Revenge reminds me of when we started getting into, like, Revenge is an album review crew episode. Yeah. So if we weren't doing a Kiss podcast and we were doing a Kiss album, I would love to say, let's take Revenge.
Yeah.
That's what it makes it, because it's a full album that we could discuss. There's so many intricacies going on with there. What's the intricacies with fucking Hot in the Shade?
Right. There are
Paul and Gene doing demos. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? This thing is just something on its own. Guys, what we love to do on these things is hopefully get that conversation going.
Yep.
I will try now to kind of put this out there afterwards. And so look at our rankings. Put your rankings out there. List your favorite tracks. List your worst tracks. List whose fucking opinion you like, whose you don't like. We don't care. We want conversation. This is fucking Revenge.
Yep.
Let's talk about it, guys. Yep. Let's talk about it.
And when you're talking about rankings too, and we talk about this on the ARC episodes too, sometimes a couple different things can interfere, or maybe I shouldn't say interfere, but affect your rankings. And those things for us, or for me, and I know Zeus, it applies to you too, sometimes the intangibles that you consider are nostalgia value to it, fatigue factor to it. Okay.
Tom, we got into this album when we were in college together, our best times of our life.
Correct.
No offense. I don't remember Kiss debut album ever.
Me neither.
I got into it afterwards. And I remember looking at the cover going, why does Peter Criss look stupid?
And the other thing that makes the other thing that makes Revenge special is half of the album appears nowhere else. So if I want to hear it, I have to play Revenge, whereas the entire Kiss debut album is everywhere. And that doesn't make it bad. It's everywhere because it should be. They're classic, iconic songs. So Revenge just has a little bit more of a personal value. I'm not going to sit here and fight you and tell you that it's better than Rock and Roll Over, or it's better than Kiss. But for me, that's where it lands on my list.
Yeah, you ain't hearing them play any of these songs in concert in the last 20 years.
No, which
with except for fucking walking out and listening to God Gave Rock and Roll to You.
Which one quick thing as we kind of wrap up here, an album that had 5 videos and 5 singles is not represented on the End of the Road tour. How the fuck do you explain that, Paul?
Because we have to play Say Yeah, we have to play Psycho Circus. I get the Say Yeah, Tom, way more than I get anything else because it's the current lineup. That's one song representing the current lineup.
Fine.
Which has been there for the last 15, 20 years, whatever.
Fine.
I don't get Psycho Circus. Nobody fucking craves that song. You mean to tell me the crowd wouldn't go more nuts for Unholy over Psycho Circus?
Yeah. No, I hear you. I know.
Anyway, that's fucking Revenge. Yep. Love album reviews. Love them.
Absolutely.
Can't wait to get to the next one.
Yep.
Anyway, Tom, this is what we do next.
Hi, this is Ed Spansberg of ClickTshop.com, and for all your Shout It Out Loudcast gear and merchandise, please visit ClickTshop.com. At Click T-Shop, you can find lots of Kiss-inspired t-shirt designs, plus mugs, hats, hoodies, pillows, and all new fine art selections. And now, here's your question of the week.
All right, so our question of the week comes from Chris. And this is a question I think we may have probably covered this maybe a little bit, maybe not in a question format, but he talks about live albums in bootlegs, but more specifically, why do we think, and again, we don't have any answers, so it's just our opinion as Kiss podcasters, why do we think that Kiss never released a live 3 during the Eric Carr years when there are bootlegs that are out there? There are bootlegs that you find out there, whether it's the Animalized Live Uncensored that's on vinyl or CD that you can find. Why do we think Kiss never released a proper Alive 3 during that Eric Carr 80s era? What's your take on that? What do you think?
I'm not sure. I don't know whether it's like they didn't think that the songs were legendary enough to qualify for an Alive 3. It was non-makeup. I'm not sure. I think they thought, they didn't think Eric was going to all of a sudden get ill. So they always probably thought they had it in their back pocket. And then all of a sudden he does get ill and the band needs something after Revenge, because as good as Revenge is, the tour's not doing that well.
Yep.
Let's try to put it together. Let's do an Alive 3 and let's start talking about our history again and do extreme close-up and things like that. I think they didn't think they needed it probably.
Yeah, I think it might have been a couple things too. I don't think live albums were a big deal in the 80s as much as they were in the 70s. Plus, I think maybe Kiss was maybe I'm giving them too much credit. Maybe they were just doing a little bit of self-reflection. We're like, you know what? We're not the band we were in the 70s. Do people want a Kiss live album right now? And you said something too. Is the material strong enough to warrant a live album right now? Mm-hmm. We got a couple of hits. We got a couple of MTV videos. Is a live album going to translate into anything? That being said, there are bootlegs out there. I've actually seen a bootleg of a vinyl with a spectacular cover. It's really, really cool. It actually looks like it's set up like the cover of Alive 2. Okay, picture the cover of Alive 2. But the colors are all the colors of Asylum, and the 4 pictures are all the 4 pictures of those band members. Mm-hmm. So it's a white album cover, and the Kiss Alive, and it says Kiss Alive 3, and it's all the Asylum colors with the 4 faces of the bands from the Asylum era. It looks fucking great. When I saw that, and I think this was kind of the impetus behind his question about, since those bootlegs exist, why didn't anything official release? When you see something like that, you're like, shit, that would have been so cool if that was a real thing from Kiss, but it wasn't. So,
but if they really want the real thing, they should go listen to our Real Live Kiss segments and our series that we have on our show.
Absolutely.
Where they can go by what we decided to do is every 3 albums.
Yep.
Kiss releases a live album that doesn't have any songs on the previous Alive albums.
Correct.
Yeah. Yep. There's some interesting song choices to choose from.
Oh, yeah.
That was a lot of fun. So go find the Real Kiss Alive series that we guys we played out there on our podcast.
Yep.
So, Tom, where can people find us?
Our email is the best place. We always say this every week. Shout it out loudcast@gmail.com. Shout it out loudcast@gmail.com. Please email us questions, comments, feedback, anything you want to talk about. We'll do our best to read them on the air during the show. If not, we read all of them. We do our best to respond to them. Sometimes we can't get to all of them, but we appreciate everything. We read them all, believe me. And, of course, the social media that we always talk about, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're on all those, very active. Comment, tag us, start a thread with us. You can send us DMs, direct messages on there. So check us out with the social media. And, of course, as we mentioned earlier in the show, our wonderful Patreon family, patreon.com, the website and Patreon app. Search for us. Check us out. See if it's something that you're interested in and want to be part of the family. And we are always proud to say that we're part of the great Pantheon podcast network of shows. Tons of great shows, all different genres of music. We're part of that. And, of course, our good buddy Ed, you heard the question of the week, Click T-Shop, his website, Click with a K. Check him out. It's got some great Kiss-inspired stuff, some great Shout It Out Loudcast and album review crew stuff. And soon you'll see some Zeppelin Chronicles stuff, too, as well. So check that out.
Yeah, Ed has got. We've been working with Ed closely, and we have some new tricks up our sleeve coming soon. So be on the lookout for that, and make sure you go and get all your Shout It Out Loudcast gear, including our T-shirts, at clickteeshop.com. Like Tom said, DM us, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're receptive to them. We try to get back to everybody's, but we do read them. Okay, we do. And me and Tom, when we get our chance, we always go over them. We laugh with each other and really enjoy getting your feedback. Don't forget to follow us, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Is constantly growing. We love the feedback on YouTube. Thank you very much for that. And if you could, try to go onto iTunes and give us one of those 5-star child reviews so people can find our podcast, and it lets people know where to go for all their KISS needs and album review crew needs, and now Zeppelin Chronicle needs. And please keep a lookout for the Zeppelin stuff. Make sure you repost that, retweet that, share that, send the links out to your buddies, because we know there's so many of us that are KISS fans that are just as big as Zeppelin fans. And we're going to try to give you guys the definitive Zeppelin fun podcast as well. So please make sure you share that and forward that to your friends, and be sure to be on the lookout for more stuff coming down the pipe for that as well. And then always, I like to repeat the email, shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com, shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. Now, what we like to do is end on famous last words. You got any?
Oh, I do. Who cares? I'm in a trance. I got no hope. I don't stand a chance. But it's all right. Yes, it's all right.
Take it off, pretty baby. Take it off. Drive me crazy. You know, you make me so hot. I want to see what you got. Take it off. Yeah!
Oh, man. Revenge. Oh,
revenge. Go watch Superman 2.
Is that Superman 2? Is that Superman 2 Electric Boogaloo or just Superman 2?
Yeah. Superman 2 Piss Cakes Boogaloo.
There we go.
Tom, thank you. Loudcasters, thank you. KISS Army, thank you.
Guys, thank you so much. Everybody out there, Patreon subscribers, everybody there on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the people that subscribe and listen to the show and share it and retweet. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. We can't wait to hear what your thoughts are on Revenge and where we ranked the album ourselves. So thank you. And Zeus, as always, my friend, thank you.
Peace out, Girl Scout.